Right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's kind of slow. The CPI was not bad. It actually came in a little bit higher on the core. Everything else was in line or lower last 6 to 9 months. Inflation has been dropping despite tariffs or anything else, but now here's the interesting part. We gapped up, hit 6,300, and then right at the open, we started selling off. Mag 7, NASDAQ is up 0.5%. A lot of those names are doing very well, but, you know, we're kind of just selling off, doing this little momentum and all of that. So when it's all said and done, I don't think we're going to get anything material. I was just telling the guys that you are going to get a couple of Fed speakers. You do have some data, again, Thursday, Friday, Michigan consumer sentiment, retail sales. So there's a little bit more, but this was the big volatility day in terms of data until the Fed. So Trump just came out talking Indonesia and other things, and then you're going to get the crypto bills. That's also on the calendar. But for the most part, hit a new high. Everything else came down. Mag 7's leading, and I think you're going to go in waves depending on whatever Mag 7 does. But that being said, Chatadonia, we got to get ready for Philo. I got a good one for you, so
48,
let me go get a carbo and a commercial.
And a quick check on the banks. JP Morgan, Citi, and Wells kicked off earnings this morning by beating estimates. But shares of Wells are under some pressure by 5% after they lowered their outlook for net interest income. The other, Citi, up about 3%. We'll hear more on that next hour. Let's start with Nvidia hitting an all-time high again today after the company received approval to resume sales of its H20 AI chip to China. It's a major win for the company, which has suffered from tariffs and export restrictions. And our next guest owns the stock. Let's bring in Nancy Tengler. She's the CEO and Chief Investment Officer at Laffer Tengler Investments. Nancy, great to see you. Kind of catch us up here on Nvidia's, your thinking, this valuation now, opportunities in China, and all the rest of it.
Good to see you, Kelly. You look great, healthy.
Thank you. Sleep deprived.
So
yeah,
I guess I would say, what?
Sleep deprived, but go ahead.
Well, you had the same 5.5 kids. So I guess I would just say that the valuation is not as stretched as everyone would argue. I don't know that you buy it here. We were adding during the April tariff tantrum. We picked some off at $108 a share. We added to the position while we've been trimming Broadcom, which has actually outperformed Nvidia over the last year. But if you look at fiscal year earnings growth, 2026 is supposed to be 45%, then 33% in 27, 14% in 28, and it's currently trading at a forward PE of 40. So you're actually paying less than 1 times on a price earnings to growth basis. So unless you think the growth in this company is done, I don't think you sell the stock here. I don't think you necessarily buy more, but on dips, you step in and add to the holdings. I would also just point out AMD is actually up more because their M1 chip is going to get reinstated as well, and that's going to benefit the whole space. So the AI trade is what as an investor I'm focused on. I've been talking about productivity for the last 3 years, the analogies to the 90s, and the need to pivot to old economy companies that are invested in the new technologies, and then the providers of, or embracing the new technologies, and then the providers of the picks and shovels. So I think we still love it, and we continue to hold. It's one of our largest holdings in our growth strategy.
That will be reassuring news, although maybe bittersweet for those who didn't jump in as the stock kept kind of making those comeback moves. And AMD, to your point, up 6%. You mentioned trimming Broadcom. I mean, what else do you do tactically in the AI space right now?
Well, so we've been trimming the winners. So this morning we were in trimming Broadcom and Oracle. Oracle was both are the largest holdings in our TGLR ETF. With Oracle at 6.5%. So we wanted to declare some victory. We still like the names for the long term. And I think you still want to own many, or if not all of the names. I was on with you right before earnings with Microsoft. We were buying it. We rarely do that ahead of earnings, and the stock's up something like 25 or 30% from where we added it. So that's what I would just encourage your viewers to do, is be patient, don't get FOMO, but then remember what I've talked about a lot, which is when you go back and look at Amazon, I don't have the numbers as of today, but it's up hundreds of thousands of percent since the IPO. When was it too late to buy it? If you believe in the regime change that Nvidia is providing and their ability to pivot, I think they will pivot to quantum at the right time, which they've already done. Then I think you want to continue to own the name. Great managements with vision. That's what you want to own in this kind of an environment.
So what do you make of the market more broadly, Nancy? Do you share any of the, we're talking about the outperformer today being Nvidia, being a name where you can point now to stronger sales. You can probably point to earnings and real fundamentals is the reason why. And again, with many of these other AI names as well. For those who say, look, this is froth, look at what's happening with crypto, look at what's happening with some of the smaller cap kind of high flying companies as well. Does that ring true to you or no? Do you think this is a rational and kind of sustainable move and there's a reason that it can keep going?
Well, the market always gets ahead of itself, Kelly. You and I both know that. So I'm not arguing that valuations are super compelling, but I am arguing that the technology behind it has sustainable power to continue to thrive in the coming years. Now, that said, we pivoted to energy earlier this year. We added to some of the energy infrastructure names like Quanta Services and Eaton and Emerson Electric even. And now we started to pivot to housing. So we added Sherwin-Williams in our growth portfolio a number of months ago. We've added 2 Home Depot, and this morning we were in buying one of the home builders. So a portfolio is a dynamic thing, but we're not necessarily doing that at the expense of technology. And I'll just point out one last thing. I've heard every summer for the last 3 years that technology was overvalued and the tech trade was done. We have been sellers in July, interestingly, and then adding back to positions in August through October in the last 3 years. That has paid off. And I think that's what investors should be thinking about. If you believe the AI trade is over, then you want to get out of these names. But I don't think it is. We're seeing it across all sectors. Companies are improving margins and citing productivity improvements. And I think that will continue. And that is the American exceptionalism story. So, efficiency over equality.
Which brings us to Tesla. And we don't have a ton of time here, but they are, I think, launching in India. Maybe I saw $70,000 price tag, what have you. Obviously, it's not a huge EV market yet, but you got to go to where ultimately the population and the demand is going forward. They also, I believe, had another executive departure today. And I can't remember what your take was on the stock the last time we talked.
I mean, we still like it. It depends on when you bought it. So we were we initiated our position when he was selling all of his stock around the X purchase at about $104 a share. We added to it in April at about $240. So we're not unhappy, even though the stock's down over 20% this year. We're not unhappy with our holdings long term. I think what you want to think about is Elon Musk back? I think he is. And I think there's been so many high-level departures. And then you have to believe in his vision. And he clearly thinks the vision is in AI and robotics. And that's what we've talked about, regime changes to that portion of the business. Yes, you need the EVs, but this is an AI company, and he is really pushing in that direction by having SpaceX invest in XAI and then putting it to shareholders, a shareholder vote. He did that with Solar City in 2016, and the stock, there were a lot of lawsuits. They went into Tesla's favor, and the stock's up 1,800% since that time.
Right, so it's a lot easier if you have a lower cost basis. And Elon has his work cut out now. Nancy, thanks. Appreciate you joining. Good to see you this afternoon.
Thanks.
Nancy Tangler with Laffer Tangler Investments. Another big stock mover today is Coreweave, up 10% after announcing a $6 billion AI data center in Pennsylvania. Since its IPO, the stock has surged 260% now. My next guest has an equal weight with a $60 price target, and we're at $144. He did up his price target on Microsoft, though, to $600, which would be nearly 20% more upside, and we'll get to that. Joining us now is Michael Turin. He's a senior analyst at Wells Fargo. Michael, welcome. It's good to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Kelly. Appreciate it.
Let's talk Coreweave. This is a company that you think when you hear the data center announcement today?
Less on the data center announcement specifically, but we haven't seen a company move quite like this in software before. They're moving at warp speed. We've seen acquisitions both up and down the stack. And as you mentioned, the IPO priced around $40 a few months back. It's trading more than 3 times those levels currently. This is a pure play AI hyperscaler. One of the challenges is they don't have the cash cow that the cloud hyperscalers have to draft off of. But this is a company that's moving fast.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Philo. I got a great one for you, man. I really do. We're going to do it different. This is how good it is. I'm going to start with the Bible, and then I'm going to end it with what should have been the intro, because I think today's Bible, I just got a really simple one, straightforward for somebody. I don't know who, but I don't know. I read what I told you to read, Nehemiah, and some things came up. And then I have something big, you guys. I don't know, man. I hope by the end of today's Philo that I want to see some lives changed, and you can. I think by the end of this Philo, you can change your life if you really want to. I know, doesn't that sound crazy? I know, it's pretty wild, so you'll see. But before I get into that, very simple. It says Philo on the video. We were on another video. That means you either followed around, subscribed, you name it, but you clicked on this. You're here. So I'm assuming you know what it means. We're going to talk about God in the Bible, like I just said. And I'm not doing it to piss you off. I'm actually not even doing it to convert you, believe it or not. I'm doing it because I want to. I actually think it's quite an honor. Like, dude, the fact that I found thousands of people who agree with me on this is amazing, and that I could even talk about it during the day. You know, it sucks that we've had some, friction and other people get in the way of that. But, above all else, man, these are my friends. Like, do you not realize it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we spend every hour together for half a decade. No exaggeration. A lot of us have been here. So, this is a moment we like. And like I'm saying, bro, I want to give you guys stuff, whether it's real estate tricks, money management. I want to see you do something, bro. And I have a plan. And, my plan is that we are going to change the world. I think we are. And it is a result of well-mannered men and women who build themselves up. And you see already in just 5 years, I see the resources that we all have collectively. And I see a lot more in the future. And that's what I'm saying. So I would like to see that. And I think the world and a lot of good things happen when we all each individually handle ourselves and take care of our communities. So let's do it, baby. But if you don't want to listen to this, you could just leave. It's okay. I would actually respect you more from it. I make it sucks because the other day I noticed like 1,000 people left. And I'm like, man, that sucks. But then I was like bittersweet. I was kind of happy because I'm like, you know what? At least those 1,000 people aren't like, bothering the people who want to do this. At least they are truly making the decision that, hey, I don't want to hear this stuff. They're not putting themselves around it. And I really think that's important. So as much as I think this stuff is good and I think it's for everybody, at the end of the day, bro, if it's not for you, it's not for you, and you don't have to listen to it. No, I'm not trying to make you do that, So do what you want, because I really believe this, man. It creates bitterness if you do things you don't love. If you're in places that you kind of feel forced to be in, or you feel like you don't have a choice, but you do, that's a trick, And I would hate for that to happen. So just leave if you don't want it. And if you are here, I hope you get something out of it. And if you want to focus on stocks, you have the news wire up. I will be focusing on stocks. I could read and do other things at the same time. If I miss anything, we got a lot of good backup in here. So if anything breaking happens, we'll put down whatever we're doing and we'll get right to it. So win-win for everybody. Good workflow. And like I said, I hope this is a good one. ERJ's dumping because they made a comment on tariffs right now. CEO said tariffs could cause revision of output plan, and then 50% tariffs generate additional $9 million of cost per airplane. That's coming out now. And then SE popping. We saw that one earlier. So yeah, we'll get some other stuff. It was breaking. We will be good. But Chadadonia. Are you ready, baby? Are you ready? I have a good one. So here's the deal, brothers. I told you to read Nehemiah. Does that sound familiar? And we talked about Nehemiah yesterday. So I'm gonna just tell you, man. And like I'm saying, you need to pray for discernment, you guys, for real. Like, stop going on the internet and you're going through something, and then some dude starts speaking, and then you're like, wow, that's for me. You don't know, bro. Like, maybe it's just a coincidence, but at the end of the day, you need to relax, okay? You gotta relax. Ask and pray to God. Don't pray to man. Don't look to man. Don't give to man the glory that deserves what God deserves. For real, I'm telling you, this isn't just a joke, bro. I really want to see some of you do good, and I think some of you have a good heart and you have good intentions. That's why I would hate to see that used against you. And when you give people what belongs to God, they will take advantage of it. Do you understand? So please, I beg you, if you think it's about you, you need to pray. You need to figure it out, and really, it's not just like, oh, somebody said a comment, I'm going to change my whole life on it. No, you need to like really ask yourself. And again, that's why preparation, being locked in, is so important in every aspect, so that you don't get misled by things, and that when something is for you, you actually give it the diligence it deserves. You give it the discernment, and and that's a good thing. So be mindful. But I'm gonna just tell you, because I read Nehemiah yesterday, and I read it, and I read this part. I already know this story, but when I read it, bro, I was like, man, in my mind, I was like, I don't know how many Chads could benefit off of this. And in my mind, I was like, I bet you a Chad is going through this right now. So if this applies to you, ask for prayer. Please pray and ask God. All right? I mean it, in private, when the stream is off. No noise, in silence, empty your heart, surrender. But here's the deal. In Nehemiah, he gets the wall built. He did it in like 50 days. The people said he wouldn't do it, right? We were talking about this. And then when the wall is built, finally those 3 haters, who is it? Like Ashba, Torba, whatever those guys' names were, the haters. This is what happens. Nehemiah 6. When word came to Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem, the Arab, and the rest of our enemies, that I had rebuilt the wall, and not a gap was left in it, all gaps were filled. No, side note. Though up to that time, I had not set the doors and the gates. Sanballat Geshem sent me this message. Come, let us meet together in one of the villages on the plain of Ono. But they were scheming to harm me. So I sent messengers to them with the reply, I am carrying on a great project and cannot go down. Why should the work stop while I leave it and go down to you? 4 times they sent me the same message, and each time I gave them the same answer. Then the 5th time they sent his aide with the message in his hand unsealed, and it was written, it is reported among the nations, and Geshem says it's true, that you and the Jews are plotting to revolt, and therefore you are building the wall. Moreover, according to these reports, you are to become their king, and have even appointed prophets to make this proclamation about you in Jerusalem. There is a king in Judah. Now this report will get back to the king, so come, let us meet together. I sent him this reply. Nothing like what you are saying is happening. You are just making it up over your head. You are making it up out of your head. They were all trying to frighten us, thinking their hands will get too weak for work and it will not be completed. But I prayed, now strengthen my hands. One day I went to the house of Shemaiah, son of Delilah, the son of Methabel, who was shut in at his home, and he said, let us meet in the house of God, inside the temple. Let us close the temple doors, because men are coming to kill you. By night they are coming to kill you. But I said, should a man like me run away? Or should someone like me go into the temple to save his life? I will not go. I realized that God had not sent him, but that he had prophesied against me because Tobiah, Sanballat, had hired him. He had been hired to intimidate me, so I could not commit a sin by doing this, and then they would give me a bad name to discredit me. You get it? Like I said, I think somebody's going through this. I could be wrong, but let me put it another way. If any of you are working on something, and people who have been shady to you are all of a sudden telling you, hey, let's meet up, do you want to know what you should say? Only if it's true. Only if it's true. I need you to respond as such. I am carrying on a great project and cannot go down. Why should the work stop while I leave it to go down to you? And you know what they're going to do? They're going to ask you the same thing over and over again. And you have to say the same thing back. Do you get it? You know why this tripped me out? Bro, do you know how many times in my life I have said this? without realizing it? They were in the bar, I was chilling in my room. Now they want to call like the stock about to move. I'm working on a great project. I am carrying on a great project and cannot go down. My brothers, how many of you have that in your heart right now? And if you do, then that's what I'm saying, bro. The shady people, the people who have not assisted you, have thrown you borderline shade rather than support. What are you doing? Don't waste your time. Again, the people telling you, and you think that person is your friend, but then they are trying to get you to sin and trying to get you to discredit your message, my brother, you got to realize. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't know who this relates to, but if any one of you is going through this, this is the answer. And now I'm not saying this so you're all paranoid, and this is very simple, bro. I think a lot of us know this. Because I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I used to do this. When I was young, bro, and there'd be people in high school and people they weren't really in my favor, but I just liked being around people. You know what I'm saying? I like this. So I don't know why we do it. Can anybody explain it? I can't. I don't know why. I grew up so much of my life spending time around people I did not want to be around. They would make fun of me. We would joke with each other, but you knew it was the jokes. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Are you joking, or are you just using this as a cover of a safe space? And I see it a lot today now too, but it's different, but I never understood why. I really did. Maybe it was loneliness. I have no idea what it could have been in that sense, where it's like, eventually I grew out of it, but this is getting in your way. I'm glad I did it earlier, because I did do this early. I moved on. I went to college. I moved around a lot of places. I got in my money. I got into my path. That's it. The longer this takes for you to realize, man, it's going to be bad. You need to realize this right away. And the whole story up until this point, they knew they were haters, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's not like one person called them to meet up and Nehemiah's like, you devil. No, these are the same people that were making fun of him when he was building. You see what I'm saying? These were the same people that told him not to do it in the beginning. And then when he did it, they said, stop doing it. And then when it was working, they made fun of him. And when making fun of him didn't work, they resort to attacking. But do you see what I'm saying? I don't know which one of you, but if you are working on a great project, and the world is calling to you to meet up, and they're like, whoa, you better hide. You better break all the long-term rules and hide. Don't commit the sin, bro. You get it? So if you actually refuse the meeting, you already got step one out the way. The next step is don't cave to your rules out of fear. Oh, they don't feel me, bro. They don't feel me, bro. Are you kidding me? Do you get it? Because that was the second part. The first part's easy. They're like, meet up with us. He's like, no, I have a great mission. I can't go. They said, meet up. I can't go. 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 And then finally they got to the other dude. But the other dude didn't say meet up. He met up with him already. And he said, yeah, bro, watch out. These people are going to clap you. You should break the rules and hide, because you weren't supposed to close the temple doors. You get it? They wanted him to go to God's place and close the doors and hide. He said, no, don't do that. He said, why should I run? What did I do wrong? I did nothing wrong, and you want me to hide? And then on top of that, you want me to sin against my God? My brother, kill me. I'm fine. That's for real. What are you saying? And that's when he realized, because you get that, right? Right when the guy told him to sin, he realized, he's like, wait a minute. I may have thought you were a friend from God, but no, you're not. Why would you tell me to sin? Why would you tell me to break the rules? You get what I'm saying? Guess what, bro? That house is going to come your way, Chad. It's never going to require you to break the rules. You see what I'm saying? That play is going to come your way, dog. It's not going to require you to break the rules. Oh, I hope you hear me. I really do, man. You know how, bro, because I think we live in a world where it's easy to reject the people trying to get you to come out. It's easy to say, no, I got a busy work. It's not easy to spot that. I've seen too many Chads fail to this. Out of fear, you have broken the rules. That's okay. You get what I'm saying? That's why I love God, bro. The forgiveness, bro, the grace, it's real. You're okay, bro. No one's holding it against you, but you need to realize this. Look at his mercy, that you could have made a mistake and you could still learn it today. Don't you ever break the rules because you're afraid. Don't you ever break the rules because you are afraid. You get it? My brother, if you're going to break the rules, I hope you do it because you're a rule breaker. I hope you did it maybe because of pleasure. But don't you dare do it because of fear. I don't know if you understand how deep this is. That's the irony, because there is story where people failed because of pleasure, and they have failed for other things. But the ones who fail out of fear, it's a blasphemy. That's what I was saying, bro. What are you worshiping? So the next time someone say, yeah, bro, go break, don't follow the rules, do this. You got to protect yourself. To protect yourself. You're good. Watch out. Bro, you don't have a reason to run. You don't have a reason to break the rules. Don't forget about that. So, that's your intro. All right? That is your intro. Restoration, flush. That could be big. Only $1 or so, but $2 from there. Interesting. But yeah, now this is the part I want to really, oh man, I love it. But like I'm saying, today, some of you could change your life. And it's funny because it's going to sound like an altar call, but it makes a little bit more sense. Okay? But you need to make a decision. You need to make a decision one time and one time only. And you need to stop with this game, bro. For real. I'm going to explain it to you, but that's the answer. You make a decision today and you never go back on it, your life will change. I promise you. I think some of you, by the end of this, you will realize the world and the universe will bend to your will. I actually believe that. And I believe in God first and foremost. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Make no mistake, the truth you've heard, it all lines up. Like the decision, your decision for Christ above, you need to make a decision. So it's funny, you're saying the parable of the talents. That's so funny, because I was going to read you one part of it. There's a part in the parable of the talents. You know what it says? Whoever does not have, even what little they have will be taken away from them. Is that not terrifying? What do you mean all loving God is saying what little you have will be taken away from you? What? Do you want to know why it says that? Because I really think that Jesus was aware of how it worked. And I think the devil is aware of how it works. You think this was God cursing you? No, bro. This is the devil's game. Because once you get into this mindset, that's how it works. You don't get it? Bro, once you fall into the depression and feed it, once you get into the I have nothing mentality and feed it, guess what happens? Even what little you have gets taken away. Yes or no? Come on, tell me I'm wrong. Is that not how depression works? You always start off at one area. You weren't depressed at default, but you go low. You go with a little, and it's a little. You're like, I'm not feeling it, but then you feed it, and guess what happens? Even what little you have, that little bit of hope goes to half. And then it gets halved and halved and halved, and before you know it, you're like, I hate this. Because what little you have will even be taken away from you. If you give into the mindset and you even give in and say, I'm nothing, I have nothing, I'll never do nothing, the devil rejoices. Because then he's like, great, that's all we need. Because then if he believes he has little, we could take away even the little. Like I kept telling y'all, bro, the broadcast, you're broadcasting something. Every time you praise God, every time you say positive things, do you not realize it? I'm praising, praise God. I have something, add to it. It's the parable of the talents. You have something, it'll keep adding. It'll keep growing. It'll keep compounding. Welcome to the long term. If it's nothing and you say, I'm worthless, I'm little, it'll keep going. It's a crazy concept, and I'd never really had it click. The devil gets this. I always thought God was a little harsh. I was like, damn, what little you have will be taken away from you. That's not him cursing you. That's the game the devil plays, because that's how it works. You have so much in you. But the moment you say, I believe I have a little, I believe I'm nothing, you're resorting to the consciousness of a little. And then now, what little you have will be taken from you. Because you will feed the little mentality, and you will feed this mentality that you are broken. It's crazy, bro. So it's funny because we keep talking about the talents, and I'm telling you, your mindset, you guys. Make no mistake, it's real. Believe me, the technical, all the details, we'll figure it out. But I need you to believe the door is unlocked. I need you to believe the path is worth walking. I need you to believe you have a seed that is worth planting. I need you to believe you got something. Because I know the world, bro. I know how this works. If you don't believe you have anything, you're not going to get anything. Again, this is coming from somebody who started with nothing. That's just how it works. You need to believe. If you don't believe, you will not be motivated. You will not make the correct action if you believe it's useful. You want to know why? Because I wouldn't do it either. You mean to tell me this is if I truly believed I had nothing and nothing will change, my bro, I'm sleeping till 12 p.m. every day. You want to know why? Because nothing's going to change. Did you see what I'm saying? I hate to break it to you, but this is how we are training ourselves. If you don't believe, you will not do. There's no real rational motivation. You don't think it's real. You think you have nothing. My brother, even if you have nothing, I need you to believe you have something. This is the secret, and it's strange. You're like, why would I believe I have something? Because then you believe in possibility. And then we now have new energy. Now we have a new source in you to apply. Because if you didn't really believe there was a goal, you wouldn't do it. My brother, I am goal-oriented. I believe it or not, I like the reward. If I don't believe there's a reward, I'm not going to do it. It doesn't make sense. So right now, you need to get out of the confusion and get the clarity so that you can actually get the real motivation that is in you. It's not in another man. It's not in me. It's not in anything. It's in you. You already have it. I promise you, all of you have it. The level of belief you have is what is going to hold it back or unleash it. That's all. Okay, and this is what I was trying to say, bro. And can I be real with you? I was trying to say this yesterday, and I'm glad I found more words. I love it, man. I love you all. I hope you know that. Be positive. Think positive. Bro, God is your father, bro. You see, you don't believe it. You believe you don't, but if you believe it, you understand why I scream. For real. But here's what I want to tell you, bro. Like, let's be real. I need you, like, tell me if I'm wrong. But every day, every moment, every second, you have the possibility for billions of thought options. True or false? Right? Like your thoughts could go in literally a billion directions. Yes or no? You could think about stocks. You could think about stocks, girls, money, car, the world, the caffeine, this, water, God. You have how many possibilities? At base value, you wake up, you start your day. How many thinking possibilities do you? It's billions. It's endless. True? If you disagree, you disagree now. If not, I'm going to keep going. Because if this is the premise, like the gold thing yesterday, you need the premise has to be logical. So I don't think I'm reaching with this one. I think this is legit. You truly have somewhat unlimited potential in terms of possibilities of which way you could take your thoughts at every single moment. Unlimited. If not a very large quantifiable number. Great. So if you have that possibility for billions of options of thoughts, why are you choosing the thoughts that do not serve you or that don't serve you well? You don't think that's weird? I think it's batshit, to be honest. Forgive my language. You want to know what's even crazy? So think about that. You mean to tell me I give you a buffet of a billion options and you're going to choose the one that hurts you? You're going to choose the one that keeps you confused? Really? You don't think that's weird? That in a world of billions of choices, you are narrowing it down to the same limited beliefs. Come on. It's not that you don't have the choice or that you don't have the option. Maybe that's a better word. But in a world of billions of possibilities, why are we settling on a handful of thoughts, especially the ones that don't serve us? You know what's even worse? You want to know what's even worse? We think of problems and we'll use these possibilities to think of a problem that isn't even rooted in anything real, and then we'll waste our next thoughts trying to fix a made-up problem. So you have billions of choices, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be successful. I'll never be successful. Even though I'm 30 years old, I'm behind. Oh, I'm 25, I'm falling behind because they all gambled on the internet and they don't show us their drug addictions when the screen's off. I'm so worthless. Oh, and meanwhile, you now make up this problem, and then you're going to spend the next hours and days and be in a low energy because what? Because now you're trying to fix this made-up problem of you being behind. You had billions of choices, and now you want to think about the things that are not serving you. My brother, time to end it. Do you get it? That's not it, though. We're not done. No. You know, and like I said, man, with all of it, I'm telling you, you have the Father. And you know, it's weird. I'm even realizing it. It's hard. Some of you are going to have to, I think some of you still have a problem accepting that God loves you. And what I mean by that is he cares. He cares about every little thing in your life. And you're going to tell me, no, he doesn't. And then you're like, if he cared, why do I have to do this? If he cared, why do I have to do this? That's what I'm saying. He's your Father. He is my father. Do you not realize I view this dude like my literal dad? I am so excited by it. And I know who's in control. I don't view God like Zeus. He is not a Greek god with thunder, and I'm not afraid of him in that sense. I fear the Lord, but you get what I'm saying? It's my dad. He is not this unjust judge where he says what little you have will be taken from you. It's not like you get what I'm saying? And depending on how you view this, that's going to affect this mindset too. It's just different, bro. You get what I'm saying, bro? Somebody judging you, somebody with like a powerful, inanimate object, it's different than your dad. This is your dad. Some of you have said, Josh, you be a dad, father. Imagine, you think I'm a homie, bro? Oh, you don't know anything then. Because God. U.S. threatens to exit IEA over green-based energy forecast. And then another set of China names literally hitting new high right now. IEA projections are skewed towards aggressive green transition goals impacting investment decisions. So yeah, bro. How you view it and view God, and it's going to change how you view the other thoughts. Because like I'm saying, bro, this is what he wants. The Father. Some of you are going to have to accept it, accept the favor That's why I'm telling you, God is with me. God is with all of you. And God shows his favor. I have a trouble accepting that. You know that? Because why does God have this? Why do some people get that? But God is the Father. Just remember, he ain't going to give you a snake. Okay? But that being said, can I get into the final part of all of this? Still kind of long. But this is what I mean. I want a life changer today. For real. You know why? You need to make a decision. All of you. I don't know what you need to decide on. I think you need to pray. I think you know what your calling is. I don't know it. You see what I'm saying? You know, bro. You know. But you need to make a decision. Can I tell you, this is going to punch a lot of you in the face. It punches me in the face a little bit too. But this is real. The tragedy of man is not that he didn't obey his calling. The tragedy is that he delayed it. My brother, hesitation is the greatest form of disobedience. Wow. Yeah, Chad. I want some life changers. Do you get it? This is why this year, and again, I don't think I did it perfect, and God gets all the glory, and I know some of you didn't like some things. Some of you still might not like it. I don't care. You know why? I want to secure the ark for all of these young men and women who have worked so hard for it. And that's what I'm trying to tell all of you right now. The tragedy ain't going to be that you didn't listen. The tragedy is not like, oh, I didn't follow this. No, oh, God called me. No. The tragedy is going to be you delayed it. You delayed what you should have had. You delayed what is already yours. God has already called it for you. Look at how crazy I am. Walking around yelling you, God, God, God. He called it. Because it's true. And if you delay it, that is the greatest form of disobedience. God, you are called. You are called to be a fisher of men. Some of you are called in so many ways. Look at how your life has already taken you. Look at how you're standing. Look at the bread on the boat and all of it. And you want to hesitate right now? You want to be afraid when God has already taken you from the womb till today and already shown you so much. Nah, the tragedy is the delaying. The tragedy is having everything at your disposal and not walking in it, not standing on it, not living in it. No? You tell me. Again, I don't want foolishness. And that's why you need to remain in the Lord, and you have to have your diligence, bro. Because lack of hesitation doesn't mean that you become foolish. It means you're so prepared. You're so ready. You're locked into the point. It's there. We're going. We're moving. It's time. God called it. I am not going to wait. Because every time you wait, bro, you're disobeying. If God says, go here, and you're like, well. Come on. You don't get it? You know why? Because you know what happens? And it says it in the Bible. Every time you say, I will, but you don't move, that means no. That's the story. That's the parable. The son who says, I'll go out and work, but he doesn't go. Versus the son says, I'm not going to do it, but then he goes. You could say, I will, all you want. I'm going to do the long term. I'm going to change my family's life. I'm going to stop gambling. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to do this. I will. If you don't move in it, it doesn't matter. Every time you say, I'm going to do something, and then you don't move, you're saying no. You realize that, right? You're saying no. No movement means no. Just like when I was a kid, and I would ask my mom or dad for something, and they said maybe. When they said maybe, or my dad would say, Inshallah, God willing. When my dad would say God willing, we would all say, after a couple of years, we knew what that meant. We knew God. When my dad would say God willing, we knew he was saying, nah, that's not going to happen. Every time you say, I'm going to do something, and you don't move in it, you're saying no. You could say, I will, all you want. But every time your actions don't have movement, you're saying no, 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 no. Bro. Can I tell you this? You know what heaven looks at? Heaven measures in motion. Have you ever heard about that? Again, it's in the Bible. This is the parable. The kingdom of heaven is like the son who says, I will, but doesn't go. Who says, I won't, but then ends up going. Right? He says, like the kingdom of heaven. Heaven measures motion. The only proof heaven requires is motion. You're not going to get to heaven one day and they'll be like, what did you say you will do? I'd love it. That'd be so easy. Oh, if I get up to heaven and God's like, what did you say you will do? I said I was going to I said I was going to change the world, but I didn't move in it at all. Oh, I'm in? Perfect. No. God, motion. Chad, I'll give you it right now. You want to know what one of the most powerful prayers in the world is? You want to know what a powerful prayer is? The most powerful. It's called movement. Do you get it? I pray, I trust in God. Move in it then. Action. I'll live my prayer without a doubt. Amen. Thank you, God. Do you get it? We are looking for movement, bro. You need it. This is, don't hesitate. What are you saying you're going to do? What are you doing? All that matters is the movement. Every time you act, you're saying a prayer, dude. You don't realize it? Every little move you made on the long term was a prayer. I don't think you realized it. You know why? Because you couldn't see it. You couldn't see the future. You didn't know what was happening. When you started with that little amount of money, you had no idea, but you kind of prayed. You moved. God, bless me. You said, God, bless me. You said it while you were moving. Oh, there's a difference, bro. There's a difference. And I need you to all get it. And Chad, I was telling you. The business of kings is to seek out answers, right? It shouldn't sound unfamiliar. I said, you guys are kings. You have authority. Are you really, again, some of you got to get used to the favor. Some of you got to stand in your authority. Are you really a child of the light or not? You're a king. And can I tell you right now? Do you guys know the language of kings? You know that kings speak a certain language. They have their own language. The language of kings is called decision. I've been saying this from the beginning of the year. I said, you better choose your frustration right now. Or if you're going to either miss out the up or the down, you better choose it now. This is going to change by day 365. You need to make your decision. The language of kings is decisions. My brother, you want to know what's going to separate you from you and your friends and you and your peers? Decisions. This is your language. The king speaks in decisions. What makes the king a king is he decides. He knows how to decide. And even if he doesn't know how to decide, he's not afraid to decide. Oh, y'all don't feel it. Decisions is the language of kings. And I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you. Indecision, that is the language of the spiritually poor. You know that, right? You don't believe me? Go read the Bible. Go look. The man picking up the mat, the people looking for healing. Go look at how those stories are written. Look at how Jesus interacted with them. All he said was pick up your mat and walk. You think that's a miracle? Or was the man didn't make his decision? It's kind of crazy. Look around, indecision. Why was it that the centurion, why did Jesus say, I have not seen a faith like this in all the land? He wasn't indecisive. His spirit was rich. My brother, indecision is robbing your spirit. You're opening up the door when you have things in your life you know damn well are true. You have your calling. You have so many things. And what are you telling me? Indecision. You guys got to realize there's a difference between planning, preparing, and being indecisive. The fool is going to take this Philo and think we're trying to say don't prepare. Not at all. I need you so prepared that when the moment arises, there's no qualms about it. We're not indecisive when the moment arises because we have already prepared. Do you understand? But every time you hear a Philo, every time you got a miracle, you getting all these things in your life and you are still choosing and being indecisive and growing that and watering that, my brother, your spirit is not growing if your indecision is getting bigger. Realize that. Bro, indecision. You're warring with your spirit. Why? Doesn't make sense. Your spirit, that's why focus on the Lord. Are you really at his feet? That's what I'm saying. There's no room for indecision, only decision. That's the language. So, I don't know, man. You see what I'm saying, Chad? I want this. All of you. I want lives to change. They're going to change. God willing, I would love for it to happen today, but I don't care anytime. But do you get what I'm saying? You need to start deciding. You need to make real decisions. And you need to stick with them. And stop being afraid of them. And the moment you do this, bro, we're gonna change everything. Oh, you have no idea. Dude, Tom, your damn light bulb, bro. Edison. You know how many times he failed at that light bulb? You think he ever doubted trying to make it? No, he doubted his effort, not his aim. Guess what, bro? Thomas Edison, he did not demand a cosmic sign or an invisible confirmation to keep going. Qubits takeover note. James Altucher. I don't have any other details on that, but eyes QBTS coming out now. It's either going to be opinion or you might get some details, but it's one of the quantum ones, so be careful. Bro, he didn't wait for a cosmic sign. He didn't demand a sign. He didn't wait for applause, evidence. You know what Thomas Edison did to get you your damn light bulb? He failed. He moved. He decided. He failed fast. He adjusted it because he failed so fast and kept going. He adjusted it quick, and then he conquered. And now we have light. Decisions. Chad, it is not a question of if. It is a matter of when. That's it. I'm telling you right now, all of you, Chad Adonia, those of you who are really with me, we are going to change the world for the better. You know, I know all of you from the day I streamed. We talked about this. You've seen it at moments, and I've said, I don't know if what you thought it looks like. Make no mistake. Oh, you're like, wow, we could do good. Oh, wow. What do you mean we could? We are. Do you understand me? We are going to change the world. I believe it. I know it. It's done already. Do you get it? So you know what that means? It's not a matter of if. You think I'm going to go back? Oh, YouTube banned me. Oh, they don't like me. Oh, they steal from me. They copy me. Oh, you think I'm going to go back and go cry to God? You think I'm going to doubt the change? No. Just a matter of when. The decision's been made already. You need to realize this. I say this as your example. You could be a part of this, awesome, but I don't care. I need you for your own life to realize this. This is what I'm talking about. It's not a question of if, it's when, and you need this decision made up in your mind. You need this, and that's what heaven looks for. They like that. Heaven sees it. The things you can't see this. That's what we're talking about. Let your spirit come to life, not with indecision, but with decision. That's it, man. I tell you right here, right now, bro, none of you are waiting on clarity. You know that? We've talked about the clarity. I hate the confusion created by some. Oh, disgusting. Well, but dude, you're not waiting on clarity. Clarity is waiting on your commitment. Oh, yeah. You don't get it, bro? The moment you truly decide, that is the moment the universe is truly going to change. Hear me, bro. The moment you truly decide, when you, as the king you are called to be, that God already made, when you finally resolve in your mind and you're like, yo, I decide, it is done. A true commitment, bro. The universe, everything's going to start bending towards there. Because it's a real decision. You truly made a decision. Not, I'm going to do this, but while I'm doing it, let me weigh the options. Let me see. No. A real decision. Some of you with your long term, you said, I'm going to buy a house. That's a real decision right there. That's it. Some of you with the I'm going to become successful. I'm going to be on Wall Street. Let's go. Stop doubting it. Make the decision right now, and that's it. And you live in it, and the world will bend to it if you say that is my resolved decision. I have decided. That's what's going to feed my soul, my spirit, everything, my decision. And I'm with it. Do you get it? I don't care. What business do you want? You want to be on Wall Street? You want to be a trader? Whatever it is, you need to make that decision in all of its fullness. I'm going to say it again because I love this topic, the clarity. Bro, you are not waiting on clarity. Clarity is waiting on your commitment. The moment you make a true decision with a level of commitment and honor, tell me you're not, it's becomes so clear, bro. Why do you think every time you're not deciding, you're like, I don't know? You don't think that's ironic? That there is no clarity when you lack the commitment. That's why it's this and that. And then the wind blows you, and then this, and all this info, and all these news, and all this. You have no clarity. There's no commitment. No commitment. There's no clarity. You get it? You get it? Watch. That's why I say a true decision. Spiritually, everything, a real decision in your life, and that will bring clarity. Nothing is holding you back. There's no limitations, brother. But it's what you truly decide. And you have to say, with what I can't see now, I still decide that. That's why some of you may grow up right now. You may be in the hood. You may be in bro, I had to share a room with 3 girls, bro. Growing up, we had an apartment for 7 of us. You may not be it. You may not see it. You see what I'm saying? But you need to decide. You say, I'm making my decision. This is exactly what I'm going to do. This is exactly what I'm going to be, and I'm going to pursue every day. When doubt comes my way, I combat my doubt with my decision. Go ahead, tell me what it isn't. Tell me what I can't see, but I'm going to tell you my decision. Do you get it? You're not waiting on clarity. Clarity is waiting on your commitment. So, do you get it? This is what all of this is. It's time, Chad. Hear me. I hope it is. For some of you, I really hope. Let's make some decisions. And let's make a decision we don't go back on. Let's make a decision that's worthwhile right? I said, I want to change the world. I want to. I'm going to. The world. Let's decide, bro. You can have whatever you want. Anything. But you must decide. A real decision. That's it. Stop. You don't need to beg for it. Remember I told you don't need to beg. You don't need to bargain. You don't need to bend the knee. You don't need to break the rules. You don't need to do anything. You stop asking. You don't need to ask anybody for anything. Start declaring it. Stop wandering and start walking. That's it, bro. We're not circling the gate anymore. Oh, should we do it? Is it this? What if I this? What if... No, break it down. You made a decision. Yes or no? Again, why wander with, oh, maybe, no. I have a direction. I know, I don't care if it's fast, slow, brisk or not, jog. I don't care. I know the direction. Why do I wander if I know where I'm going? I could go there, even if it's a baby step. Knock the gate down. It's open already. And this is the part. You know why I said this is a life changer? Because all it requires is a decision. And this is why I love it, bro. Because some of you need it. Like I said, bro, I don't know where your life is right now. I don't know where you're at, but I have seen both up and down. Simple. What I'm telling you today does not require talent. It does not require a strategy. You realize that it doesn't require anything. All of you have equal access to this. Nothing will prevent or give you a special ability with this. Do you understand? That's why I love it. It's beautiful. One final act of a decision that you honor like a vow, that is all you need. Right there. That's why this is so beautiful. That's why it's so possible. You don't need to be rich. It don't matter if you're poor. Don't matter your background. Don't matter single, married, girlfriend. None of that matters. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter if you're a fool. It doesn't matter if you have skills, nothing. All that matters is a true settlement in your heart saying, I am vowing to this. I make a decision. I'm going to honor this like a vow. The man or woman who does that, that's it. You're unlocking this. That's all it is. A decision. Commitment brings clarity. You want clarity in life? Start committing. But dude, this doesn't require anything but a decision. And this is what I'm telling you for all. All of you need to make a decision to become what you have been called to be. And I know it has a lot of potential. I know it's big. You need to make that decision and never ask about it again. Do you understand? That's the final part that I don't want you to miss. That's what I'm talking about. I made the decision. I don't need to ask God again. It's been decided. Do you see what I'm saying? It's already resolved. I don't need to go back. Do you understand? For real, I'm being dead serious. You make the decision to become what you want, and then you never have to look back at it and doubt. That's it. We're not revisiting this topic. We are saying that the gate is going to get knocked down, and we are going to knock it down, and we're not going to be like, well, should we maybe do another gate? Or maybe we should go the other? No. You get what I'm saying? Clarity. Commitment brings clarity. Yes, it does. It's not doubt. You don't need to ask again and again, am I on the right one? Am I doing it? Is this what? No, you decided. Again, this is why do you think I keep telling you, though? You got to be with God. That's why I said, what great of a, if you think the light is dark and the dark is light, you're screwed. But this principle will always remain. Decisions is the language of kings. Chad, I've told you this. I told you the potential. I told you what I see. Why I make this investment every day to some of you. Let's go. You need to decide today and never look back. Everything. Business, spirituality, some of this, you know that. And that's why. That's why some of y'all, you got to figure this out. I said it earlier in the year. Enough of this cute shit. Oh, I like God, maybe this. No, you need to decide. That's it. And guess what? I don't want to be around that. All of you. I want to be around men and women who have made a decision. I want to be around men and women who don't bargain. They bargain for good deals, but they don't bargain with their decision. I want to be around clarity through people that have committed. This is it, bro. So, Chad, it's game time. And I hope today, and if this, you may not get an answer. Go, when this stream is done, before you lay your head tonight, you give a real prayer. And decide. Because, bro, I'm telling you, the moment you decide, wow. Like, imagine, dude, we have a lot to work on. And we have a lot I could show you, but the decision has to be made. And the power in your decisions, that's what I want you also to realize too. There's power in it, bro. It's shaping your life. It is the sail to where you're going. So decide and do it in the strength and authority you have. And it has to be worthy. You know what I mean by that? Where we're not going back on it. I said, you see it. Whatever you say, you're good. That's it. Is it worthwhile? Is it good? Then good. We're not going back on it. So please, live up to your calling, Chad, and start deciding. You are a king. And just let me remind you, the tragedy isn't going to be that you didn't listen. It's going to be that you delayed it. Movement. Heaven likes movement. Action. Decisions. Anything trying to stop you. Anything trying to make you indecisive. Less clear. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what it is. So let's go, baby. Oh, but I believe, Chad, and I hope today, maybe end of this, you make a real decision. A real one. I pray for clarity for all of you. I've been telling you that. So I'm honored. I'm glad I could give you a step in it. But I can't take it for you. You got to make the decision. You must decide. A real decision. So, Chad, let's get it. I told you, we're going to change the world. I think a lot of you are going to do some amazing things. But like I said, man, we're not asking for permission. You understand? You're not asking God, why do you think you got it in you, bro? Why is it in your heart? Why is it you see the evil and you're still the guy who still want to help out? The things that soften your heart that it seems the world is forgot about. Why? Where'd that come from? Start declaring it, bro. That's yours. That's what I'm talking about. All of it. So let's go, baby. And I look forward to it. But this requires your decision. And no more delay. No more delay. I'd rather you be anything than an indecisive. You see? Because that means you're not making decisions and you're not growing your spirit. Because guess what, bro? You grow your spirit, you're going to start being decisive. You may be indecisive about dumb shit, but you'll be very decisive in other things. You know why? Because I know where I'm going. Kill me right now. I know exactly where I'm going. Go do studies. What's moving the world? It doesn't matter. I know who it is. You get what I'm saying? I have clarity. Some areas I don't. He will reveal it. But do you get it? So let's go, baby. It's time to decide. And I'm so excited. Not only for what I know is going to happen, and we are going to change the world, and I hope you declare it in the same way, but I look forward to seeing the decision. Like I said, there's some of you, man, the different versions of you. Oh, I look forward to meeting the decision maker. That's the king. That's the king, baby. Walk in it. Stand on it. Take that one to the bank. That is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. You're on mobile, press hot chat, X out the chat, hit the thumbs up button. Second link for the nightly watch list in my channel. First link for the Scramblers, Big Comp, and Real Estate. Yes, sir. I love it, bro. I love that Philo. I love it. I love God more. I think that's really it, man. I feel God is great and God is good, bro. And I look forward. You know that, my brother? I hope to see the fruit, because not what God had, but in you. And I think you're the fruit, to be honest. Because I'm saying, bro, that gets my heart joyful. I could only imagine, bro. If I'm getting geeked up, bro, you know, I just wired $250,000 to go buy a fucking farm, and I'm more geeked up on that Philo than anything. Because I'm telling you, it's true. It's real. That's why and praise the Lord, bro. Every decision. That's why I'm thankful, man. I really, really am. I'm like, every decision, God, man, he'll walk with you, bro. Because you decided, you moved. Yeah, you're right. Bowen's popping. Good call. That's it. You move. He'll walk with you. Why were you guys asking God to show up? You ain't even taking steps. What is he gonna show up at? Yeah, it's a pretty big pop on Bowen. $2. Senate chair advanced tracking for U.S. Army helicopters. I see that a couple minutes ago. And then Indonesia, 50 Boeing jets. Who bought 50 last time? Remember? Oh, we already have a play. I already made those. I'm just going to hold that. I have July 18th already. But yeah, Indonesia will purchase 50 Boeing jets. Somebody did 50 last time, and then it popped, and then it came down. So just watch out for that. India. Yeah. I think it was India with the 50, but that one wasn't as big as the Saudi, Qatar ones that like went crazy. No, India, Vietnam was like a couple hundred jets. That one crazy. I think India was 50 jets. Or one of them was like, it was a bigger country with small orders. And it faded, but this time we'll see. But that was also after a bunch of the other ones. So you never know. Alrighty. Well, on that note, here is Uncle.
This is where our story ends. This is where our story ends.
If the flesh worth the pound, then the yen is for your head. Good until I cancel it, you feel it or it's dead. Think I'm colorblind, my screen is only green and red. Seeing dollar signs, praying I'm not disillusioned. My word is being sterling, the world keep turning. The words sound loony, the truth needs returning. Ironically, the businessman is found at burning. Being frank, I stopped feeling bad when they stopped learning. True that, some of y'all should turn the track down. Flip the script, I'm not a ghost, I'm the fucking Pac-Man. Let you little kids play, it's time to hand it back now. Saw me never sell a stock, you think I'll really back down? Tell me how that bias going, why is mine overflowing? Sonar through the show and growing like the things you know I'm owning. Over all the hoe and all the smoke they blowing, can't condone it. Make a good choice about the things you're holding. A stock on my nuts, tell the block run it up. I gave them 2 more, they only asked for a deluxe. I made another long term, they told me double up. You want me to keep going, sounds already did enough. I'm not even that tough, I call God, I don't have to call they bluff. How they all talk, but they still not speaking up. How you think I'm gonna respond when your fist is balled up? Lost the battle, won the war. Wanted more, but got the morgue. I was sure I wasn't sure. That's a window or a door. Knock it down and praise the Lord. That's the bottom, that's the floor. Yeah, I called it all before. Got the numbers, check the score. That's a better, that's a Netflix. Somebody please hit the horn. From the moment I was born, I could notice how they scorn, but I focus on the Lord. Born a passion from the board. Sure, other factors played, of course, but it's amazing how we play when nobody showed us how to play the course.
It's not done, and then it's going to be completely different. That's why I could leak it. Marcus hasn't even touched it yet. You're going to pay me to send it? That's crazy. But yeah, I'll get it. Dude, let me close the property. That's it. This is old. It's actually old. That's ever like 2 weeks ago. I just got frozen like Disney with everything because we're buying a fucking farm. Oh, NVO did take a little candle there. McDonald's appoints Anne-Marie Switnick as president and CEO. Oh, Japan discards 2.5 million doses of expired COVID drugs from Pfizer and Merck. But that's not it. Did SYF have bad earnings? It might have been. I think, oh, I forgot. We have one more, or did I sell it? I think I have one more left. Yeah, oh, they died. Actually, it's still up 400%, it says, but the bid. But yeah, I think it was. Honestly, it's not bad, though. 2%? Yeah, I got one more. I think it was, though. Or it could have been sympathy to some of the other banks. I don't recall reading Synchrony, though. It's amazing how we play when nobody showed us how to play the course. All right, guys. It's been a long day without you. Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to post it, and then I'm going to tell everybody I lost so that they'll follow me. Because if I post I make money, they unfollow me. It's a really weird dynamic considering my like whole brand is to make people money. So if I complete the job, they unfollow me. But if I don't do the job right, they love it. It's so odd. I'm being for real though. That's why I'm like, I can't wait. But are you guys ready? Are you ready for this? Doesn't that look weird? Wow. Doesn't it look weird? It's gonna update tomorrow. So it updates tomorrow because it'll have to close. But yeah. Look at that. It's at $8,000. So now I checked my bank account while peeing. The money is there. I have the money. It says pending, but everything is legit. And we are one more step away. There's going to be a fat candle down, bro. Oh, man. So, yeah. I'll have 15 cents cash. We'll have ironically, it'll be $8,000 with like $6,000 of gains. So most of this is just free, like technically. There's only like 2,000 original dollars. The rest is the gains, but we're going to be rebuilding from that. We did the prestige, so wait till I have the evidence to show you what we walked away with. But yeah, so like I said, I had the phone call. I showed you guys today, gave you the thing, told you when I was wiring out, and like I'm saying, I'll make a video summarizing all of this once we get the farm, but I really do hope that those of you like who've been paying it, like you guys are getting something live right now that I think is very important, okay? So I truly hope that you are paying attention, and when it's your time to do it, I really hope that you're not intimidated. You know what I'm saying? Because like, dude, your first house is going to be scary. I remember what it's like still to this day, and it's the biggest purchase you make. So, and especially if you spent so many years, you know, growing and all of that, I know it's hard and it may feel unfamiliar. Like literally, I've never wired out of this account. That's why they called me too, and they're like, wait a minute, your bank account, you've never wired out. So, but I hope you guys see it and you get to be, you were here, you saw the offer and all of it, but the real lesson is, man, I'm telling you, and ignore me if you don't want it. Like some of you, I don't think I'm here as part of your journey. I think you're passing by. But some of you, you know, and I think you're taking some of this to heart. So hear me. I mean, if you grew up how I did, bro, and you thought at one point 25,000 was a lot of money, right? And you're like, how do you get 25,000 for day trading? I'm telling you, the path to being a millionaire, it's going to be your long-term mixed with real estate. And that's why I want you to see this. And now you have a really good goal, and you should have that goal, and you're going to get it. Like we just talked about, no mincing of it, but now it's just, you know what it's going to be like, and this is what it's going to feel like. You're going to shop around, you're going to put your offer in, it's going to get accepted, you're going to look at your long-term and be like, oh, when do I, and then you're going to go through your inspections, you're going to go through your appraisals, you're going to release your contingencies, and then the money goes out, and then your final step, and then after this, we send the money out. Next step is we get the keys. So that's the final step now, closing documents. We wire the money to escrow. It's in my bank account. We sign all the final forms. We issue the loan, and then they transfer the title, and then you get the keys, and then it is officially our property once that is completed. So still one more step, but yeah, this is what you guys are going to be doing. Oh, it's gonna be great. Uncle's Ranch or long-term, I don't know. Boeing's still going, man. So that ended up hitting. Again, we had the old free plays. They're still up. Remember, I sold those at the beginning of the week or end of last week. So we got that on one of the last headlines. But yeah, they're all still moving. But I think we're going to call it long-term ranch. You see? Thanks for teaching us. This is historical. Well, get ready for when you do it, baby. Get ready for when you do it. And now, too, it just shouldn't feel unknown. You know, and I really hope that it helps and that you don't feel as weird about buying a house. And now you see it. And even live in front of everybody, I'm willing to do it for a crib, bro. You should be, too. Yeah, we had NVO up. There was some weird headlines with Japan and COVID stuff, but they started kind of dumping out of nowhere. Remember, want to have $25K for day trading? He's like, I don't want to day trade no more. Down payment, bro. $25K is low-key your down payment. If you are on a W-2, or if you're a W-2 and you don't live in California, low-key you could get a house for like $5-10K. The cheapest I've seen in the Chad was $300. So no exaggeration, we had one Chad buy a house with a Chad agent. Here's the caveat. It was in Michigan. So it's cheap-ass houses. It was like 150, 170, I think. Maybe lower was the property price. But after all of the programs and how they did it, the cash, it was $300 to get the keys. So then they had to pay the monthly payment. It was like $700 a month or something, was the mortgage. And then after everything, non-VA loan. This was like a normal loan. But again, it's a cheap property. It was W-2. They used government programs, and then the property already was a cheap. It was on the cheaper end of property. You know, 175 is below the median in America. So, but there's down payment programs. There's down payment programs, first-time buyer programs. Depending on the city, there's programs. You get an agent who from the cult to hook you up. You'll get some money back there. You get any of them to pay credits the right way. So there's a lot of ways. Then there's the FHA loans and all of that. But that's why I've been telling y'all, just make the goal. Save, and the funny part is your saving is just investing in the stock market. So even if you only end up saving, you only end up with a long term. But yeah, so I don't know, bro. Should I build up or move? Let the house determine. You see what I'm saying? Let the property determine that answer, right? So if it's not a good deal, wait. I'd rather hold stocks. You know that? That's what I was saying with this deal, because I like the market right now. I like it. Look at our portfolio. Look at the shit that we bought, even at the prices and everything. I like the market. I don't think the market is a bad opportunity right now. But I don't think it's the only opportunity. Right? That's why it's like, hey, if you get a good deal, if it's cheap enough while stocks are pushing the high end, real estate hasn't moved in a couple years, and you could get a good deal on it, man, that's it. If you do that, then I think that will tell you what to do. The house is a good enough deal, dump the stocks, buy the house. If the house is, seller market type beat and too expensive, not as much value, not really too much of a discount, the rates aren't favorable, I would rather own Meta. I would rather own everything in the SPY rather than that. So let the property determine the move. But that's why I'm saying, if you come across the diamond in real estate, you need no hesitation. You need to attack that, and you need to go and grab it, and you should. It logically makes sense. Like I'm saying, if you could buy a property 20-30% off while your stocks are 30% higher, that's a great investment right now. But to move from stocks to overpriced real estate, it's equivalent, if not worse, with more fees. So yeah, let the property determine it. No offers? Well, why not? Is it comp good or is it like retail price? Real estate hasn't moved much. Think about it. It peaked in 2022, 2023. So it's been about 3 years that prices haven't gone higher than that. You see what I'm saying? Like, most houses are not above the peak in 2022. You guys realize that, right? And you shouldn't be paying above that. So if anybody's trying to charge you 21, 22 prices, that's pretty much when it topped out. Or like 23 maybe 22, 23 is more realistic. But so the last 2 to 3 years, it stayed elevated, but it hasn't advanced at a aggressive pace. But then it depends on what location you're at. And then like places like San Diego dropped 15% last year. You guys know that? Last time we had real estate numbers, remember, year over year changes was it was literally 15% down. So, and then Austin and any of the hot areas, they plummeted. So it is very location based, but generally real estate's kind of just leveled out. New Jersey, certain places in Boston, a couple of areas have been hitting new highs, and they have their own catalyst, but general as a whole, real estate topped out 22, 23, and then we haven't had new highs since then. Let me see if I can pull up the crazy real estate data for you. You can even go on Redfin and Zillow. My thing just aggregates it pretty. Trump Live. Sectors. But yeah, once you get the property will tell you the good deal. And then areas, you guys will know. It's easy to go on Redfin and Zillow, put sold, and if you're buying the most this is what I really dislike, and that's why some of you who have tried to do this, I hope you understand why I give you such a harsh reaction. Because I don't want you to spend 10, 20% more. We're talking big differences. Because if you buy 10, 20% cheaper, you're making so much fucking money. It's crazy. But then if you're overpaying, you're about to give up 1 or 2 years of equity for no damn reason. So just go on Zillow, bro, and hit sold in the last 3 months, 12 months. And if you're looking and that house is the most expensive house in that time frame, I'm not a fan of that. And that you should avoid. But if it's not, that's a great place to start. Is this it? Real-time housing? Let's see. But yeah, this is what I'm saying though. This is why some places have a good opportunity. This is actually in real time, believe it or not. It's a weird metric, and especially for real estate. But I showed you this before. So this is Jersey. So Jersey is one of the areas that is like huge right now, right? And then I think Boston is in green. San Diego actually just started to pop off again. No way. Oh no, that's Detroit. San Diego is they're both blue. Where did San Diego go? Oh, I think that's LA. But the whole point is, this is what I really want you to see. There's places, this is Tampa. So everybody loved Florida. Remember, even your girl, PPL? Yo, PPL, what's this? That looks like it could be a buyout. PPL, that thing looks huge. Did they halt it? Water Corp in deal for Beckon Dickinson unit long-term play. BDX and Watt. There's more. I don't know if that one's old or not, but BDX and what, and then PPL. Oh, they didn't fill me. They scammed it. I found a cheapie, but it's not filling. All right, I think they're low-key done now. Boo. Well, it hasn't hit 4 yet. Circle's dumping. I'm gonna burn it. But yeah, PPL. But yeah. Arrow pop. I don't have a headline on that. Check though. U.S. Transportation Duffy tells admin plans state-of-the-art air traffic control system. Circle's dumping. Is this on the bill? And then Google on the high, and then PPL. Again, you could have snaked the 5-cent ones. They went up 400%. It just didn't fill me. So I'm burning it. I missed my shot. That one's still going though. What the fuck is PPL? I know, that was good. If you were early, there was an opportunity there. That was crazy. I can look up your area after this. Let me double check. But what I want some of you to shop for, this is what I'm saying. If you're buying in an area that's hot and then you're overpaying, it's foolish. You're paying a lot. But then if you could get and look at most of these places, anything below this line, that is a year-over-year decline. Do you understand? So look at how many places in America right now. There's more places down than up. So while the stock market is up 7 to 30, depending on how you invested, your next set of investment could even be anywhere from 5 to 15% cheaper, and then usually 10 to 20 times more value. Ta-da! So do you see why I like a good deal in real estate right now if you could pull it off? I don't like a high price though, because then it's dumb. But yeah, you can't find this chart anywhere. This is proprietary real estate data, unfortunately. This is some of the shit I use for my real estate company. I've never exposed you guys to that, except for like, you know, some of the general advice to look for. But yeah, this is some real estate data. Let me see if I could put in your zip code. I have other crazy shit too. I have like demographic data. I could pull up everything on everybody in the area. We got some shit. MSA or state. Let me see. It's gonna take a minute to load. Well, I go say Dearborn. That popped up. So look at Dearborn. Dearborn was in February, March, and April. Dearborn was at anywhere from 12 to like 3% decline, and now it's up 5%. So if you did this and you bought Dearborn, Michigan at the beginning of the year, you're already up 25, 30%. So if you bought a house for 100K, you made 30, 40 grand. That's insane if you really think about it. And that's what I'm saying some of you should be doing. PPL's going. I've been telling y'all, they don't feel me. But that's why I'm saying too, though, we are going to change some things. And I think you guys should just contact me directly, and I'm going to refer it out, because I've even seen some people, they listen and then they'll just botch it. And then and I don't know how. I say all of this and they're like, yeah. And they'll go outside of the steps and then they wind up paying the high price. And I'm like, why are you doing that? No. So let's see. I have it. It's not working on the other one. No, St. Petersburg is Florida. Bitcoin dumping, bonds, and then a lot of these random pops. And then we're done with Philo, so if you guys have any off topics, this is the time. I'm gonna try to pull up this real. I'm looking for this South Carolina. Give me a zip code in South Carolina. $29928. Okay, let it load up. It takes a second. Ooh, okay, I already loaded. So I have a chart for your rents, and let me go to the house prices. So prices have been coming down for you. Why isn't this one updated? I'm gonna get month over month. This one's, I can't get real time for South Carolina. I could only get the past dated one. Yeah, so this one's not up to full date, but kind of shows some of it, what we were talking about. This is just the rent price or the home price. So again, they peaked last year, more or less. Let me see. The month over month growth rate's down. And then ironically though, that's your home price. This is your home price in South Carolina. But now this is the crazy part. The rent is actually stable and going higher. So that I like. Let me see if I want to pull it up on the other one. If I could get it on the real time one, I think that could give us a little bit more. On the 2922. Money. No, it's pissing me off. I want the. I can pull up the demographics. Which one was that? Well, we're gonna start with South Carolina. 299 again. 9928. Oh. No, that one I can't do. Zip code, only state. Oh no, I can do zip code. Yeah, South Carolina. Yeah, nothing real time. I have the rent index and the housing demographics. But yeah, rent is really good in South Carolina. Or that zip code is very good. I'm actually pretty shocked. I didn't think so. Like I told you, rent has been going down in a lot of places. Well, Florida, I think it falls in with all the other ones. Most of them are pretty much the same. Nuclear dropping, NNE, Coinbase. You guys are telling me the crypto dump, and a couple of other things. Meanwhile, Microsoft going up. Yeah. So, I gotta make these here. These are like your top states. I could get you this, but like, so most of the Florida stuff, we just bundle it. Unless we go like area by area, but most of those areas got the same trends. Like all Florida, same direction. The big cities get hit a little bit more. So if you are in Florida, chances are you're in a buyer's market. Prices are going down there. They've dropped way more. But then some places, like I've showed you on the first chart, they're going up. And then there's a difference between home prices and rent prices. That's what I've been trying to explain to a lot of people. And this is why you get an opportunity. But if you haven't been paying attention to everything going on, like I'm saying, a lot of people, maybe it just happened too fast or they don't want. Dude, coin is fucking knifing right now, down 5. That's in the bottom right. But a lot of people just don't realize, like, real estate hasn't moved in like 3 years, 2 years, 2 years minimum, 3 years, 4 years max, depending on your area. And I think that's pretty factual, all location based. But at minimum, generally, real estate has not moved in like 2 years. So that's why, like, in different places, different dynamics are creating, you know, I wouldn't buy right now. And like, I want Miami really bad for pleasure. I want a property there to use, and then I have a buddy who wants a real big development, but it's not a good deal. Did the bill? Which bill? There's 3 of them. I don't know which one was first on the docket, but yeah, every crypto play is just getting worked right now. Let's see, the city above 90. Oh, is it this one? Jonathan Gold assumes role of comptroller of currency. Maybe, but Genius Act is dead. Good. Confirms Freedom Caucus want crypto bills linked in one package. Oh, fuck no. No, I don't, bro. That's how they fucking smash home a bunch of dog shit. Is by putting them, I like them all separate. I just want the one with no government stablecoin. I'll be happy. Everything else, fuck it. But yeah, I do like rules though. I mean, being able to they have the right idea. I just don't trust it. And then now if you're gonna put them all together, that's how you, yeah. That's how you hide a couple $1 billion. But yeah, like we're saying here though, depending on your area, I'd look into it. And I think there's some good opportunities. But you have to be mindful of that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Don't buy the expensive houses. Don't buy the areas that aren't favorable. If you're in an unfavorable area, use it to your advantage. If you're in Florida, you should not be top ticking anything. You get what I'm saying? You should use it to your advantage. That mother effers have to wait and it takes a long time to sell. Value assessment, make sure you know a realistic value of the property, and then use that to your advantage to get a deal. But just don't be top ticking in the markets that aren't good. Expensive house, like I said, it's relative. To go see what's sold in the area, and I'm assuming you're shopping relative to the budget of your rent and what you have already afforded, or a rental that will cover the mortgage through the rental itself. I love San Antonio. I feel you. But San Antonio popped off, and then right when things slowed down, San Antonio slowed the fuck down. I love San Antonio. I think San Antonio is my favorite place in Texas. I think San Antonio has so much upside, but I don't know why it's weak. It's like it gets up, and it did this in 08 too, but now it's still way more better than back then. But it really quickly, like the moment inventory gets up, they just slow the fuck down. But I love San Antonio. Prefab homes, we talked about this last week. It hasn't taken off. Like, it's used in development, people put it in projects, but the wave of like prefab homes and tiny homes, it never took off, you know. And like I said, most of you guys, like, we're buying real estate because it's nice to live in and you could get something good, and we want to build equity. But some of these houses, you got to think, would you really buy it? And I say that because if you want to make money off these homes, you're going to have to sell them one day, and you have to make sure they're appealable. You know, you want them to be exciting. You want people to want to give you a lot of money for it. You know, that's why I like this farm. Because I'm telling you, bro, at any time in the future, if we list this farm for sale, I know mother effers are going to do what I did. They're going to walk on this property and be like, holy fuck, this is amazing. They'll be like, what? How much do you want? What do you mean? A deal in California? It's because it's one of those things. So, like I'm saying, man, it has to be something where you would want to buy it. That's what you have to think of down the line. And that's why I'm saying the prefab homes, you guys like them, and I think some of you will buy them, like myself. I will buy it, and I would live in one if it was cheap. But I'm not going to buy one for $500,000. You guys understand? So think about that logic, because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I want to buy these cheap prefab boxable homes or whatever, and we're going to spend $100,000, $150,000, and it's going to be amazing, but then we're going to sell it to the next guy for $400,000. No one's going to buy that. You see what I'm saying? People only buy them if it's cheap. So this whole like tiny home community, prefab community, buy, build a tiny home, resell it, it doesn't work. It just hasn't taken off, and it's been a little bit over 10 years now. So if that does start to happen, I'm not ruling it out, then it'd be good. But right now, the issue is that it's not like it's cheap to build and live in, but I don't know, even the acreage, it doesn't matter. Like, people don't want to buy them for a lot, because at some point you're gonna just be like, I want a house. If I'm gonna spend $300,000-$400,000, why wouldn't I just get a house? Like, why would I get a tiny home on land? You know, and then you have competition. Like, that's what you gotta, like, even when I'm looking for these farms, that's the one that I offered the dude the Range Rover for. He had 20 acres, and then it just had a prefab home on it. That's why I say I'll give you a car for the property, but the property wouldn't appreciate. He had trouble selling it. It was listed for a long time, because once you get up into 6 figures, once you start getting $250,000, $500,000 and above, people aren't going to buy a boxable. They're not going to buy a prefab if you're spending that much. If it's an addition, they'll like it as an addition, right? I'll buy a house if it has a structure and a tiny home, sure. But I'm not going to give you $1 million, $500,000, a lot. I'm not going to give you a lot of money for just that. And that's the problem when it comes to resale and getting equity and profiting off of it. You're essentially at land value. It's good if you use it for cash flow. So if you can find a dope area that people want to travel to, and then your costs to build this property are so cheap, you get what I'm saying? And then you can make $200, $300 a day off short-term rental. Now you're killing it. But again, there's no equity value, only cash flow. Damn, I just saw, what? I just got a beach house sent to me. Oh, what? All right, Chad, you guys want to back out of the compound? I just found a beach house. $1 million off. Oh no, it's kind of trash, that's why. Yeah, these fuckers. Beach house, you ain't coming. This is too small, bro. That's it. That's the only downside. It's only room for like 2 people. My deposit was a lot. I think my deposit was like 25 or 35,000, but I put it high because I wanted them to sign the deal. I'm telling you, dude, the property's a steal. You guys are gonna trip when you see it. That's it. It's a mind-blowing concept. I can't believe it. Praise God. But yeah, so I offered a pretty hefty deposit because I wanted them to know. Because we offered a quick close. I can't believe we delayed like that. But then again, it was kind of their guys' fault. And they didn't fully disclose some of the issues. And it wasn't their fault. It was just the reality of something so big. But yeah, so I put down a heavy deposit because I wanted them to know I was serious. Because they were worried, people don't. They wanted to move quick. They were 1031ing, so they're waiting on this to buy their other home. So, yeah. Did I tell them about my YouTube channel? I did not tell them about my YouTube channel. No. They think that the property is for me and my girlfriend to build a family. I didn't tell them that, but they assumed. Because I brought my girlfriend, and she brought her little dog. So we look like this little family about to have kids, And they loved her, bro. I genuinely, bro, like, I think we got this because of my girlfriend, and they gave me, I think, 150,000 off. I think then we got another, like, it nets out to 200 if they give me the ATV and closing costs. But yeah. Yeah, we got it appraised. I got it appraised at the price I'm buying without any of the land, because the land was too difficult. So pretty much I got all the land for free. The property appraises on one parcel will appraise for all 4 or 5 of them or whatever it is. So yeah, I got a bunch of land for free, literally. But no, that's why, like, it was a mistake. I wasn't supposed to do it with I wasn't supposed to go there with my girlfriend. I wanted her to see it because I kept showing her pictures. It was the weekend and I was like, fuck it, let's just go. because we were going to go up to LA anyway. So I was like, all right, like, fine, like, let's go. And then I take her to it, and I called the agent, and I'm like, can I just drive on it? Because it's so big that I was like, we drove by it, and you could, like, kind of see it, but I'm like, you have to see it on the property. So I didn't want to disturb. I tell the agent's like, yeah, word, go ahead, just whatever. And then I'm driving around. I'm driving on the property. I'm showing it to my girl. And then I pull up to the main house, and then all these people start walking outside. And I'm like, what? I'm like, well, I didn't know it. I'm like, oh, fuck, bro. I don't want to piss them off. And then they were drunk. They were all hammered. Every single one of them. Then they were like, come inside. No. Oh, my God. They're such a cute couple. And then I was like, I don't want to bother. And then I rejected 3 times. I said no 3 times, and we had the dog, and there was animals. I was like, I don't want to, and I was like, I'm not ready for this. Like, look at, I don't even have real shoes. And then they were like, no. Come, you have to see it. You have to see the view. And I was like, all right. And I rejected 3 times, and then I was like, fuck it. And then we end up going, we're like hanging out with them for like an hour and a half at that point. And then we go all around, and then, yeah, we talking, chopping it up. And then, yeah, they show me the horses, the animals. I know their names. They told me about rodeos and getting into horses. And, yeah, so they just made the assumption. Because I told her, I said, we're kind of, we're going to use this property, and maybe I might build. I told them I'm going to build a lot on it. That was my intention. So, yeah. But then they really liked my girlfriend. So, because they kept saying how cute we are, but I don't think it was, they're talking about me. But I think that got us the deal with a real solid down payment, or solid deposit to show, express our interest. Because if we backed out, they would have got $35,000. So, it's a lot. But here we are. Ta-da! I didn't Judas. How did I Judas? I didn't say anything. I was there. I am buying the property. Told them we're going to build, and that's it. We were just a cute couple. It's not my fault. We look amazing together. What did you want me to do? Denied 3 times. You think that one was Judas? That's good, man. This is a learning opportunity for you to read the word, okay? But Peter denied the Lord 3 times. Judas just sold him for 30 pieces of silver, actually. You know what's funny? In the Bible, magic books had a higher transaction rate in the Bible than the life of Jesus Christ, according to Judas. Isn't that crazy? The view is incredible. That's one of the biggest things I like about the property. I may have not got it if it didn't have a view. But the property has a view. You could see water from the property, from the backyard. So there's like, and it already has like French doors and shit too, which is surprising. So it has crazy French doors, there's no pool though, only a hot tub. So we need to build a pool. But it has a view. You can see the whole city. You can see a lot of things. It's actually incredible. So, yeah, you'll see. All right, you're coming back down. What time is it? Oh, power hour in 3 minutes. House to hold. Revote on crypto bill at 5. President is pissed and directly pressuring members who blocked the bill. Revote aims to push stalled crypto legislation tied to the Genius Act. I think it is the crypto news. Not like in the sense people are scared, but those crypto brokerage names, they all dropped. They dropped enough to bring down the index, most likely. That's what it is. It was a crypto bill. The Genius Act failed. And they're trying to like put all the bills together, which I hate, but yeah. Land and mineral rights? Yes, all of it. Everything. It's beautiful. And Meta's on the low now. Remember, Meta was doing a little better. That's going to add drag. So, yeah, there was news, but I just think it's all these names kind of dribbling down more even after the sell-off, and then hence, you know, the SPY's actually coming down with it. Cancun, ooh, enjoy it, baby. Enjoy the vacation on a long term. Amen, amen. Tesla, but yeah, man, I feel like we're just talking real estate. I'm gonna say if you had any off topics, but yeah, other than that, Chattadoony, let me know. New case for gold, he agrees. Oh, really? I've heard about that book. I've never read it. Well, I've heard about James Rickard a lot from Rickards, and I've heard about that book, but I didn't know. If that's what it is, that'd be interesting. That theory is very fascinating, and at the very least, it was really cool to see the what's it called? It was very, very cool to see the what's it called? The money from the treasury. You know, like I said, I have part of what we talked about yesterday. There was some issues with like a lot of logical leaps that you have to make, but objectively, there is literally $3 trillion I could show you in writing that they have, which blows my mind because I didn't really realize that, and that's why I'm like, wow, maybe we do have the money. So, God willing, we'll see. Yeah, China doesn't. I think China has more, but I think we have more. Now that I've, talking up the theory, I just think that it's very plausible. Everybody thinks we have less gold. I think we might have more, and that would blow everybody's mind. And I think China has way more. Remember, China hasn't recorded their gold. They stopped reporting their gold holdings a couple years ago. I think we have more than what people think. You have any plugs on jewelry? You need an 18K gold ring, VVS2. Habibi, we get you VVS, which is normal, Habibi. But what do you mean you need a fucking ring and your wedding is on Friday? What are you telling me, bro? This whole time, you've been doing these push-ups, been getting shot at, and now you telling me you don't have the ring and it's on Friday? They came from Germany, dog. The families are already here. What do you mean? Oh, you want another ring? Okay, thank God. I was Mr. Fahar. I was about to. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, it's too late, bro. What are you? He's like, Josh, I get married on Friday. How can I get a ring? I'm like, a month ago? That's how. Yeah, but why do you want another ring? Are you Persian? You Persian. He said, I need more jewelry, Joshua. We love our jewelry, I love it. I have how many $1,000? No worry, no problem. No problem. It looks bought. Well, you got it. I don't know, because gold and diamonds, they're weird because commodities are going up, and yeah, I don't know. There's been some. So if you want it out of just pure desire, I would be more strategic with it. Because if you're gonna spend that type of money, I would find something that both of you could like. I don't know. You could find something matching or something with like a collectible. Because if you already have your rings, I mean, why waste money on anything else? Maybe, I don't know. Or how about this? This is gonna sound weird. Would you guys? Why not art? I'm assuming you already have rings. But RMD, INSP, availability of sleep apnea notifications on Apple Watch. What, it's gonna say you snore like you're dying. Please fix. I want a CPAP machine. You know that? Well, my girlfriend said she'd break up with me if I got a CPAP machine. She said my hairline is already enough, but she said if she walks into my house and it looks like I'm hooked up to a breathing machine, she said I'm too young for that. But I'm like, I think I need it. Cause I'd be I'm scared that I won't clean it and then I'll die of mold. That's what my true fear. Oxy's on the low. Yeah, but you guys should buy a piece of art for your wedding. So if you already have rings, don't buy more jewelry, or go get matching collectible Tiffany or Rolex if you want to do that. It's going to be a lot of money, but at least it'll hold its value. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of spend a lot of money, commemorate the event, and then hopefully down the line you guys make a bunch of money off this asset and can pass it down to your future children. So I'm thinking either art or matching collectible vintage jewelry item in pair. But I would get a nice piece of art and call it a day. And then that way, whenever you hang it up and all of that, you know? So that's what I'm thinking, but I'll leave it. Or you go and get another ring, but you already have ring, Bibi. Think about you get a little more, you get to an art, you know? That I like Tiffany shit, and girls like Tiffany's too. And a lot of the Tiffany stuff, I know it sounds ridiculous, but they're very collectible. So I mean, I've seen some shit on Tiffany's vintage stuff go for crazy. It's low-key art, but you can't wear it. You could wear it a little bit, but you can't like fuck it up. Rolexes are becoming more available. I haven't checked, but last time I walked into a Rolex, they had them on deck. It blew my mind in America. And then, yeah, so some of them you have to wait. Like Daytonas still have a wait list, but you could generally buy them. They're not that hard, or you buy them resale. But you could get one from the factory pretty easy. Rolexes have already tanked a little bit. It just all depends on which ones. I have been to the Tiffany's restaurant. It's nice. It's very nice. Took me a while to realize they even had a restaurant. It's kind of like the Restoration, but nicer actually. But they don't have much. It's kind of like tea and crumpet shit. I don't know. It's like snacks. You could get the Daytona, the previous medals. Not like, really? Those usually have yeah, am I thinking Daytona? I think I am, yeah. Those usually have like a 1 year, 2 year in America. Any books? Earl Nightingale, Strangest Secret, Richest Man in Babylon, and Benjamin Graham, Intelligent Investor. Those are great ones. A consignment diamond Rolex. So here's the deal. If it's diamond Rolex, it has to be factory, unfortunately. If it's aftermarket, it's not going to hold value. You're buying a liability. But if it's good condition, has factory diamonds, it could still go down in value, but that's more likely to hold its value. So if you wanted to get something for her that she liked, that'll be, you know, that's the thing with some of this stuff, because it's a waste of money. You're going to spending thousands of dollars for something you could get for $20. But the idea is that in a good time, they should, if you ever wanted to sell them, you should get all or most of your money back, or take a small loss or hopefully a gain if you buy the right item. So that's why it's like there's these little things you got to look for, just like houses. But then sometimes you'll see stuff and then you'll like, oh, I like it. And then that's where the emotions come into play. Oh, that one wasn't even ticking? Oh, yeah, fuck that. yeah, good. So I don't know, say Habibi. No. As long, yeah, you have to take care of it. You have to keep it good condition. Or just don't wear it. That's where a lot of the young guys got trapped. because a lot of young guys are buying dumb. Even, dude, you know what car ruined people, dude? It was a car. You know what car is? This car makes some people vomit. I don't know if you guys realize it yet, but bro, the Lamborghini Urus and the McLarens, bro, they took bodies. You guys have no idea. Yeah, bro. I can't, bro. People were buying those very expensive, and people thought that, you know, they were gonna hold, but they didn't. And like I'm saying, there's people buying Rolexes and cars, and like they would fuck them up, and they're like, oh, it's a Rolex, oh, it's a Lambo, but it's like, no, dude, it's not gonna be like that forever. And then yeah, they got washed. So you got to be careful if you're buying expensive shit and you're like, oh, it's an investment, but then you wear it every day and then you fuck it up. It's not an investment. You're losing money. That's it. So yeah, snarl. Oh, 20% pop, $1 stock on 400 shares. How is that even possible? How did 300 shares move it up 20%? So yeah, be careful. Goldman, one big beautiful bill act to have limited impact on renewable power till 2030. Watchlist. But yeah. Did it get halted? It was only 300 shares. I didn't say anything though. So are you guys gonna get mad if I fuck with you on the compound? If I'm like, oh, it fell through, are you gonna get mad? Because the deal hasn't closed yet. So, I don't know, bro. Oracle going nuts. And then you have the Qubit stuff. Would you consider taking out a second mortgage to pay half of the down payment on a flip or a rental? Brother, you're forcing it. Dude, you want to know what's crazy? I was explaining this concept to my mom. It was really wild because remember, my parents lost everything during 08. And I was explaining to my mom, I was like, yeah, you guys owned more than you had. And my mom looked at me and said, huh? I was explaining to my mom, I was like, you guys had to give up everything because we were talking about how expensive everything is. So if my parents didn't foreclose on those houses in 08, holy fuck. But they did. Why? Because they levered a lot. They didn't know what they were doing. They were foreigners. They were like everybody else in real estate, the loans, the government, refinance, just like everybody during 08, right? So they owned more than they had. They had all these houses, but when the rents went down and the foreclosures, they couldn't afford to keep them. That's why they had to give it to the bank, lose all their down payments, all of that. So that's my warning I was telling people from a couple years ago. I said, just make sure you don't own more than you have. That's it. Own what you have, and that's fine. You could leverage a little bit, but getting with rates this high now and starting to do that, like, think about it. You're going to give up a lot of money so that you could borrow more money. So you're going to pay interest on one loan to pay interest on another loan. And then you're going to have these things. You're going to own the asset technically, but if anything goes wrong, or things change, you might be at risk of owning more than you would have, because you're going to have to cover all of that interest if anything went wrong. So where is the return? Why is this a good idea? And in most cases, most people don't have a plan to make 18% break even on $250,000, $500,000, $1 million. See what I'm saying? So I would strongly stay away from that. And if you want to go and put down a down payment and loan to get a down payment to take out another loan, that's usually a sign you're forcing it. Or there's something, unless it's a guaranteed 50% equity and you're going to flip it right away, I don't see how that works. So be careful. I kind of, but that was just right there. Today was already weird with Mag 7, so you'll see. And there will be an admission fee to get to the compound, yes. So, and it's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be like a weekend pass. Because essentially, I don't think you're going to come out for just a day. And then there's enough places to sleep in. At least I think we could easily sleep like 10 to 15 people. I want to do more, but we got to build like more bathrooms and shit. That's what we were talking about. We were like, where's everyone going to shit? That I didn't think about. I was like, they could just piss wherever, but that's nasty. But we have toilets, but yeah. And then we need showers. I want to build dope showers outside. We need a pool too. So we'll have one of those like cow feeders that we'll fill it up with water, but until we get a real pool. But yeah. Active shooter in Tennessee? 7 is sadly normal right now, but no, 7's not that bad. It's kind of normal. Obviously, it's bad compared to history, depending on which time frame you're looking at, but you might be able to refinance in the future at lower. That's not the worry, but you do got to, I wouldn't pay 7% interest to pay 7% interest. So don't double it up. And if it's a normal house you're living in, that's the rate you're getting right now, unless you're buying a new home. If you buy down points, make sure it's permanent. I don't like temporary buy downs. I think it's a waste. I'd rather keep the money. But if you could buy a permanent buy down for the duration of the mortgage, I could be interested in that, if the lower payment is worth it for you. You walked away good. That's like I'm saying, that's not a good idea. Unless, like I'm saying, one of these days you have some equity, you got some money, and you may stumble across a deal. And if it's like deep equity, good, easy money in that sense, and like you're gonna flip it, and it's not gonna be a long holding big project, yeah, then maybe we could talk about that. But in any other situation, most situations, it's not really ideal. 6.5, that's great. Did you buy down any points? That's a new build, though. They didn't offer any other incentives. They gave you 1% off. But, yeah, the new builds, you could, like, really get stuff or closing costs. And try to fuck with the, when you buy the new build, Michael, if you know any appraisers, you want the harshest appraiser. Because if the appraisal comes in too low, the new build will usually give you a discount. Yeah, $25K and 1%, dope. So yeah, they gave you money too. That's great. You can see if it pays off the solar. But like I'm saying, if the appraisal comes in by the time and somehow it's a lower appraisal, you can negotiate to discount the lot. Because that's how the new builds work. They sell you the lot and then they sell you the structure. So that's a great way. I saved a lot on my new builds because I had that happen. And then I started asking them. I just started demanding to lower the lot price. Because if you could lower the lot price and talk to whoever about it, but that's going to be anywhere from like 20 to 100K, depending on what lot you have. Because some lots have better advantages. But like I'm saying, that's equity that you could gain if they're usually willing to discount it if they need to close a deal that's already done. Essentially, they know it'll cost them more to lose it than not. But don't force it. Don't be a jackass. But those are some ways to scrape up some more pennies that turn into six figures. 2 to 1. Like I'm saying, it has to be permanent. I don't like temporary rate buy downs. Yeah, you have the premium. So then you might be in luck. Because if it's a premium lot, it might be hard to appraise. And even if you really want the house, don't tell them. Be like, oh, no, I need 20,000 off the lot. Oh, now you got 50K and 1%. Yeah, that's the good thing, man. That's a good thing about the new builds is that they're expensive. They're a premium product, but they'll offer you like mad loan incentives and discounts, which is great. And then try to get the solar for free. You get the builder to pay off your... Dude, this is what I did on all of mine. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was... I got discounted lots. I got paid off solar. You chop this all up, you're saving another 10-20%, bro. And then you get, first year or two of warranty. It's beautiful. But, so this is good value if you could get it pulled off. But either way, you're already taking the right steps. Alright. And then we only have 40 minutes. A lot of real estate today. Well, I guess we did just wire out of the account to buy real estate. This is weird. The hockey stick hasn't hit yet. No, I'm looked. But dude, the money's in my account. That was pretty good. So what? When did we initiate the wire? We did that at like what? 7:30 this morning? And then by 10, it took 3 hours. So to give you guys, if you are using Fidelity, and if you are going to go through this process, so think about it. You see how I waited till the very last minute before selling? It took 1 day to settle the cash. So once you sell, you have to wait. If you do it intraday in the morning, the next day you can wire out. And then it takes about 3 hours and then be by your phone if you've never wired out from that account. So because they're going to call you. And then from start to finish, 3 hours from Fidelity to my bank account. So that means it'll take 3 hours and then boom, I wire out and we're good to go. Wire and then that's it. Kind of crazy. I'm pretty impressed with Fidelity. I was kind of scared. I was like, any hiccups? Remember, I was getting all early and all of it. Lenders are going to require a higher down, yes. So that's going to be the issue. If it's already rented, though, that's how you could get a better qualification. So if it's a multi-unit or even if it's a single family and it comes with a renter, or you could have, if it's a conventional loan, and if it's non-conventional, this doesn't work. And somebody signs a lease, you could use that to help qualify. But typically your second property, you're paying a lot more down no matter what. Why would I be scared? Because if the money took too long to settle, it goes from these guys delaying to now I'm the delay. Or if I tried to wire out and then there's an error, if they trigger a fraud thing, if they're like, you need to fax in your fucking DNA sample. You know, I've seen a lot, bro. It's kind of crazy. So I'm expecting the worst in almost every scenario, believe it or not. But that's why I was kind of nervous. So I wanted to give myself a jump. That's why I started doing shit just a couple days earlier. I gave myself a 3-day window just in case. We got our extra appraisal too, and everything worked out, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I've never wired out of Fidelity. I've wired out of other ones. This is a new account, but you never know. And like I'm saying, you need to think like this. You need to prepare for things going wrong in real estate, because you don't want it to go wrong at the last second and then deal with it. So I've kind of forecasted problems 3 days ahead. Thankfully, I had no problems. All we had was delays from the appraisal and everything else. And then I don't know how this worked, but the money side of Fidelity, this was the smoothest transaction I've ever had. Because usually it takes me 3 days and then I only had one phone call, and yeah, $250,000 in and out. That worked, bro. From stock to liquidity to back to bank account. That was nice. So yeah, possible for $20K in San Diego. You got to have a job. If you have a W-2, yes, you could get $20K down. We'll get you a house or an apartment or condo. But you need a job. You need a W-2 job, and you can't have a lot of debt to qualify for the loan. And that's why, because if you have low debt and all the other stuff, and you have a good job, then it's going to make it easier to qualify and for the good programs that offer a little down. So that really is the kicker. And dude, I don't know. And then some of you, the YouTube didn't send over everybody from what's it called? Yeah, I got an email on that, and I got your email, Jorge. We'll go over that one in a second here. I don't know if you're still on here. Let me go to the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Real Coat News on Twitter. Good morning.
Try to predict FX to a large degree. But I think if you look at the trend, I think that over the next 1, 3, 5, 7 years, I think you can make a case that the dollar could weaken further even.
As we get deeper into this earnings season and we get the big tech companies and more of the consumer-facing companies, do you have some confidence here that even if the companies do suggest that there is an impact from various policies out of Washington, that still will not have a material impact either on margins or bottom line EPS?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We think that the impact, not only from tariffs, but even before tariffs, we were forecasting a peak in the earnings cycle this year. So one way or another, earnings growth was peaking. Part of that, remember, anytime you talk about growth, you have a base effect. And base effects were pretty strong. You've had a positive earnings cycle now going on 9 quarters, which is quite a long positive earnings cycle. And as you look back relative to history, the comps start to get quite hard regardless of tariffs. Now throw tariffs and the impact that can have on margin compression as well as top line growth. And I think it's a very, very high hurdle to continue to improve earnings growth from here.
All right, Mike, always appreciate you coming in. Mike Contopoulos there, Deputy CIO, I got it right this time, Mike, over at Richard Bernstein Advisors. As we continue to count you down to the close, we keep an eye on the broad markets. A mixed day with the S&P in the red slightly, the NASDAQ's in the green slightly on the day. But when we come back, we're going to talk about investing across the board, in the public and in the private space, and maybe sometimes with a political bent. Donald Trump Jr. and Omid Malik, partners in 1789 Capital, are going to be joining us in just a bit to discuss their investment strategy and their outlook on markets, crypto, and so much more. This is The Close on Bloomberg.
I'm here, baby. I just got back. Dude. All right, guys. Well, God is good. Alrighty. And then we have another issue. Not with the property, but Jorge. Maybe I could give you a call. Well, let's talk about it here, and let me go through the steps, because I need to make sure that you're good. I want to make sure you're doing good, but then too, we need to make sure you're not on any bullshit, okay? So you said I could read this out, but it does bring up something, and I do need to bring this up first and foremost, okay? Because I have noticed something pretty alarming. And this is why, honestly, I'm kind of getting really bothered by the news and some of these other fucking YouTubers and people who have kind of encouraged some of this, whether by selling people shit or, this disingenuousness and, like, I don't know. Long story short, you guys, stop running up credit card debt, okay? That's a big thing. This is probably... I want to say like the 12th one I've seen in the last couple of weeks now, but this time it's kind of threatening property. So, dude, I've seen this a lot, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're struggling or whatever it may be, or even if you feel like you have a little bit of breathing room and you're like, oh, and things are coming your way, whether it be that stock course or God knows what it may be. Or if you think the Bitcoin and I have to get in now, I have no time to react. Just you should be careful of the credit cards, okay? Because I've watched a lot of people. I don't think they've realized how disastrous it is, and it starts off small, bro, but then it snowballs, and then one big purchase after the next. Before you know it, you go from being an asset holder to having things to that debt is very, very destructive. Especially if it gets out of control, or now the reality, if something bad happens. Because something bad is going to happen, you guys. That's why you need to be ready for disappointment. That's why you have your long term. But the problem is that you can't overwhelm it, right? Long term is there for your big purchases. It's there for your life. It's there for emergencies. But do you see what happens if you're already tapping a line of credit on debt? Your debt is one of your first lines of defense. So at the same time, though, if you don't handle that well, I'm telling, I've just seen some of these credit card balances, and I've seen people, they've told me like, hey, I had a problem and then I used my credit card, or I had this problem and then this, but then I look at the amounts and I'm like, dude, there is like, do not be comfortable putting large amounts on credit. You understand? Does that make sense? Like, again, here and there, and maybe at like the worst case scenarios, but do not, like, because once it starts, you guys, it's reverse dividends. You get what I'm saying? So once it starts hitting like fat amounts on credit, you're paying that monthly. And I'm not talking about the minimum payment, I'm talking about the interest. So it starts to turn into like a never-ending battle of sucking your wealth out. So just be careful. I've seen this a lot, and this is what sucks, because whether there's equity or long-term, this credit card debt gets very destructive. So I've seen this a lot, and now that's what this situation. So pretty much, I'm here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so we have the house. We ran up some credit card debt. Good thing you have a good job. I actually do. That's, thank God. But now the question is, do we take out a HELOC or what? So what are you asking with this? So I got the email, and you're even worried about the HELOC, but here's the problem I have. What's the goal, right? Like, you ran into issues. Good thing you have a property. Good thing you have a long term, but now you have a bunch of credit card debt. And life is getting a little rough there, but I'm asking, what's the goal of the HELOC? Do you see why I'm asking that? Because you got to think about it. If there is $80,000 of credit card debt, what's going to happen? Like, you're saying to eliminate the debt. I don't like that. Do you see why? That's how we got into this problem. So we could lower the rate, and now we're doing damage control, but I am more scared that you're just going to do the same thing, because that's what everybody does. I'm not judging you, I promise. You know that? And a lot of times, like, even you guys know I've paid off a lot of people's debts. I don't like to tell you because I like to keep my blessing in heaven. And this is what we've learned. And thank God we had some knowledge coming into it, because some people, I've learned I won't help them in certain instances, and I need them to do certain things, because guess what? I've learned this through real estate. I've learned it through helping people. If you run up a big debt problem and we do not correct the behavior that got us in there, you are about 90% likely to end up in the same position, no matter what. So at that point, we're just throwing money at a dead hole, or it's just going to end up in the same place. Sadly, nothing is going to change. No life will be changed if we end up in the same place that we started. So that's why I'm scared of the HELOC. We do need to work on, but do you see what I'm saying? We need to tackle the debt plan effectively and prioritize before realizing that the HELOC is our way out. Because I would be terrified if you went, paid off this credit card at high interest, now attached the debt to your house, and correct me if I'm wrong, let me see. Did you already use the long term? You might have already done that. So now the last line of defense is your home equity. But then if you do not make a plan to actually change the behavior of how do you wind up 80,000 debt, whether it's the job, whether it's health, who knows what it is, that means there's something different. But we need to find a way to make more money than we're spending at the same time of tackling the debt. Otherwise, you're going to just transfer the credit card debt to your house, then you're going to run up the HELOC, and then if nothing changes, it'll be another year or two. You're going to have all debt, now more debt than the house is worth. Then you'll run up the credit cards again, and then what? Now it's the worst position. So in a weird way, this could get worse. If you don't realize that by now, we need to get the issue. We need to snipe the problem. And the problem isn't that you have money or you're not making enough. The problem is we need to tackle debt and then have a budget so that we do not spend more than we make, and make sure that more money goes to tackling debt and getting back to building equity. You see what I'm saying? Because you were in the position. You had long-term house equity. The debt crept in. And then you started spending more than you were making. You were making a lot. That's why I said, good for you. You have a good job. Your situation isn't that dire. Amen. And trust me, if it looks sad, keep your head up, bro. You're going to be fine. But we need to tackle the problem like an adult. And I'm telling you right now, it may suck to hear, but if you do not fix why we got into debt, and if we don't stop the reason why this problem occurred, you're just going to change one debt for another until you run out. And that's what everybody does. So that's the problem. We need to find a plan. You need to look at your budget. You need to go through your bank. You need to go see all of your expenses, see what you're actually spending your money on, see what is necessary, and then we need to budget it to make sure more money gets left in the account than not. Then your long-term deposit, at this rate, bro, you're not making a long-term. You need to pay down $80,000 in debt. That's way too much. So much money. You see what I'm saying? It's going to kill I can't even make a dividend that we can't do anything at that rate, because $80,000 monthly at 19% interest is too much. So essentially your long-term deposit is going to pay down that debt, and then we need to make sure we're not racking up more debt to live, right? And then we tackle that, then we could talk about HELOC or not, or does the credit allow the HELOC? But I don't care. You have a house, that's great. You have equity, awesome. I'm more scared of this happening again, and you should be too. You know what I'm saying? The problem isn't you have the resources. Thank God you have a job. Thank God you have a house. Thank God you had a long term. But we need to tackle the spending and income problem, because if the debt racks up again, you are just going to swap out credit card debt for house debt, and then we're going to do it all over again. I've seen this too many times in my life. So that's what we need to tackle, and then we could get to it. So right now, you need to go over your last 3, 6, 12 months of your bank, and next time you can email it to me, not the statements. I'm not going to do your work for you. But you need to tell me everything about like actually, are you making more than you're spending? Where is the money going to? Can you cut out dumbass purchases or stuff you don't need? Because then we need to tackle the debt ASAP. And you need pretty much the same long-term plan is going to go to your debt. Pay down the debt so we could keep your house in equity, thank God, and that's working. And then you're going to go from there, and then we could talk about HELOC and taking out more debt. But the last thing you should be doing is taking out debt, because the first set of debt is already fucking you up, and we don't want that to take away your house. So thankfully, if we could do it the right way with budget and your current income, we could avoid that. But I wouldn't look towards pulling another parachute until we find out why we had to jump into the debt plane to begin with. So that's what we need to know. Well, you could try a program, but this is why I kind of said, and maybe you guys will understand me a little bit more, because this is why I said I don't like some of these YouTubers. I don't like some of the shit they selling, because this is not a moment to go and buy something else. Do you see what I'm saying? We need a full stop on everything. You get what I'm saying? You don't need to be spending money right now on shit you don't need. You need to cut off everything right now. Food and rent and necessary bills only, and then let's see what we have left and to tackle the debt. But this is not you don't need to search for a new answer or buy something right now. We need to stop things. All we need to do is put our foot down and stop. Stop. That's what it is. So you could send the spreadsheet, but I'm not trying to do your work for you, brother, because you need to develop this skill yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to grow into this. And I need you to look at it. Because last time I used to do this and tell people what they need or wanted, they got mad at me. Right? You see what I'm saying? I don't know what you need. I don't know what you want. You know your life. You make a lot of money. We can't spend more than we make. So go through your statements. See the necessary bills. See what the savings is. And you need to start determining that, like I'm saying, when I did it myself, food, water. Food, water, rent, bills, the necessary. And then you go into but again, you need to figure, if you have a spreadsheet, if you're willing to do all that and have it, let the numbers talk to you. They should be telling you. And again, that's why the interest and the other stuff gets in the way, but that's why we need to start knocking it out. I just said your long-term deposit is going to go to the debt, because the interest, dude, that's $1,200 a month in interest. That's a fucking that's more than a lot of nice cars. You're living luxury on interest, and you're not even enjoying the luxury. So we got to stop it right away. And like I'm saying, it just, unfortunately, we don't need to take on more debt. We don't need more credit lines. We don't need to buy something to tell us to stop. We just need to stop right now. Stop everything. You have the numbers, and if you already did it, you need to look at it and say, I make this, I spend this, and now go back through what you spent and ask yourself, was that necessary? Truly necessary? And you need to go through just how you watched me with the long term. And I was like, I'm going to sell this first, sell this. You need to go through and sell your losses. You need to go through your bank statement and say, you know what? I don't need $40 of DoorDash. I don't need $100 of weed. I don't need whatever this is, and get rid of your losses, and then tell me how much you could save and how much more income than expenses. And then we try to use that to tackle the debt, but we cannot rack up more debt. We want to avoid more credit lines. The house is the last resort, but the moment you touch the house equity without a change in your willingness to tap debt and run it up this much, I think that's a bad idea. And we need to tackle that first, go through the statements, and go from there. So, do you understand? Are you hearing me? Do you know what your next step is? You have the spreadsheet. you need to go through right now and actually look at the expenses, not just the numbers. And like I'm saying, get rid of your losses. Look at all of it and say, what do I need? What do I don't? And tell me how much more is coming in from there, and tell yourself how much it is. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. You've only spent on food and gas, but you're 4 months. What about the other 54 months, right? But then how? If the last 4 months, is it the interest payment getting in the way, or is it now, was it the house payment? What is it then? If you're only buying food and gas, why are you making less than what you're spending if the other 50 months or whatever was more than what you were spending? Because remember, prior to this, you bought a house, built a long-term, and then got to this situation. You see what I'm saying? So something happened, and I know life happens, and that sucks, but like I'm saying, there was something where we started spending more. It could have been the interest, but what did you buy to rack up the interest? What? The money had to go somewhere, and we need to find what that is and stop it, and stop borderline everything, and then tackle, because I know $1,200 a month is a lot, and that's the interest. We need to get rid of that so we can lower $1,200 to $1,000 to $800 to $400. And like I'm saying, obviously we need to move into lowering the high interest, but here's the deal. I'm down to spend $1,200. You should be too. Spend one more month figuring out what the root of the problem is. Because if you pull your fucking equity from your house before getting rid of your addiction, I know what's going to happen. Just sell me your house now. You see what I'm saying? You need to fix the addiction. There's an addiction somewhere. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean that we're spending addiction. Money got spent somehow way more than we brought in. How, where, why? I'm not blaming you. I'm not shaming you. I'm saying we need to find that answer. Give me the answer, leave the blame, leave the shit, let's move forward. But you need to know the answer so that we could balance the budget and tackle this. Because the answer is get rid of the fucking debt before tapping other debt. Like I'm saying, let's find a month, get rid of this, and then we could talk about moving over loans. But if you don't know how to get rid of this problem before getting rid of the interest, I don't think about what I'm saying. There's a problem before there was interest. I don't care about the interest. You know the answer. We can move it around. But what's the problem? We need that fixed. So I hope that helps. You got a couple of days. You have this spreadsheet. Email me back with what you noticed, but like a real answer. And that's what I said. Listen to what I said, and then maybe I'll call you. You guys want 11 out of 11s and shit, but like I said, show me you're not on bullshit. Show me you want to pick up the mat and walk. And I'd love to, but you know what I'm saying? But if this shit is like obvious and you're not like, oh, I did a spreadsheet, my AI told me, no, go look at your own account. Calculate every $10, every $5. I do this shit, bro. And look, say, where is this going? Whose money is that? Why did I spend that? For what? What did I get? And you need to find the problem. And in 4 months, I limited myself for 4 months. What happened before? We need that answer. I don't care about blame. I don't care about shame. I just want the answer. And we get that answer, I'll get you a fucking solution. But until then, we don't need to tap interest until we get tapped the problem. You're saying what worked? It was a similar situation, but most of your debt came from your house. I'm just saying a lot of you work harder than smarter. That's the problem. Because you're right. The easy answer is go HELOC, pull out your money. You didn't plan. You didn't correct yourself. You didn't fix it. Thank God I bought a house. Let me pull the parachute and get all the money, lower the interest, and then I'll get a second shot at it. But then if I fuck up, I'm done. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you to work smarter. Don't work harder. Don't put yourself in a position for these fuckers to take your land. Ta-da! That's why I'm saying just burn one more month, worst case. Address the problem. We know we can move the interest and save a ton of money. Duh. That's what, thank God we have it. Thank God he has a good job. You see what I'm saying? But we got to Well, yeah, if you're even saying sell the house, sadly, I would agree with you. If it gets to the problem where we can't fix the spending and the habits, that house is gone and you got to go it within your means, and or you rent it out and rent something way cheaper. That's another option. But the whole point, we need to fix the problem and be smart about it, because if you figure it out before taking these steps, we could figure out the answer at step 1 instead of taking a step and then going from there. And then we could figure out all of it. And that way we could make sure we keep everything and don't wind up in this situation again. Whoa. Well, no, there's just going to be a reality check. But I don't think that's the case. Like I'm telling you, he said 4 months. He was doing very well prior to this. Something happened. Obviously, there could be relationship shit. He could have spent money. Something happened. He spent a fuck ton of money somewhere. And either he wants to admit it, he doesn't know, or he's a little confused by it. We've been there. All of us have. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. So, because he was affording the house prior. It's not like the house payment got bigger. It's the same house payment for several years. You know what I'm saying? But it is like, we have to figure out what changed and see if we could remedy it. But if something changed majorly and we can't go back, and the reality is the house is outside of your means, that house is getting sold, dude. And you're going to take your money and reset. Or you're gonna rent out the house and go rent a 1-bedroom that's way cheaper. That's fine, but you still own. And you see what I'm saying? There's many ways and good ways that we could do this, but I want the problem, because I'm telling you, bro, it haunts me. Dude, I've given so much money to people and helped so many people, and I see them wind up in the same position. It's because of this. If you don't address the addiction, nothing is going to change. I promise you all. And I've seen people go from good to bad and have good things and squander it because we didn't address the root. You have to get rid of the addiction, the spending, whatever the real problem is. Your equity, your credit lines, your margin, it's not going to save you. If you have to act, like I'm saying, we need to correct it. I'm not blaming you. I don't want to blame you. We don't need to blame anybody. But you gotta be a man, a woman about it. You gotta be an adult. Look at it in the eye, address it, and realize what it is and correct it. And if we can't address it and can't look it in its face and correct it and just try to pull these levers, the 15% lever, 20% credit, save me. I don't have a plan, but I'm going to pull the credit anyways. What the fuck? No, we can't do that. So don't shame you if you have done it. But like I'm saying, there is an answer and we can figure it out. But you got to plan it, and we got to address the real cause of it. Otherwise, you're just changing the things to wind up in the same place. I know, only 8 minutes, bro. Huh. Hey, Jiggly. How far are you from Trussville, Indiana, or Alabama? And Diego, that looks like a deal, bro. I don't know the area, but they're only listing that shit like 10, 20 grand higher than 2018. Oh, it was part of a multi-property sale. Interesting. I don't know if Jiggly's here, but somebody just sent me an Alabama house. I know she's looking. That one looks decent. I'd put an offer. I'd look into it. Make sure if it needs repairs, fuck it. But if that's decent condition, I'm looking at it. If they take 200, I think it's a steal. I don't know the area, but quick comps, it looks decent. It doesn't look bad. It's definitely not overpriced. That I could agree with. The one whoever just sent me Trustville, Alabama, and then I know Jiggly is looking in that area, but that's 180, 200. Yeah, so that was decent. It's you? Offer. That's why. Do you have a Colt agent? I will forward it to the Colt real estate team, but that's why I want you guys, because if it looks decent, just inquire and make a serious inquiry through a real agent, and then that's it. Oh, well, you said, I don't know. You might be able to do it, bro. You can't get it? Well, we'll see. I emailed Court Real Estate for the agent, and then Jiggly might want that one. It looks decent. That actually looks good. That's what I'm saying. I just like the price, the history. The condition looks a little like it might need some, but if you could get that a little cheaper, but then they might have priced it accordingly. The Russell's down 2%, bro. 1.8. Cool. Yeah, email. We have a couple in North Carolina. I'm hungry. I need a protein. Oh, we only got 4 minutes. Is it okay if I go grab a pro? I'm hungry. I didn't get one after Philo. Josh, I need it. I need it, bro.
This dispersion that we're seeing between sectors and between stocks, it tells you that we're in a more fundamentally driven market. It's not so much driven by headlines. And in fact, you know, to me, what really stands out is just how much investors have kind of looked through all these tariff-related headlines. Right? Last week, we got a barrage of tariff threats and tariff headlines, and implied volatilities across asset classes not only did not go up, but they actually fell, which is a very stark contrast from what we saw in April. So I think, you know, this is kind of the volatility market is really telling you that investors are kind of tuning out, if you will, the tariff threat. Whether that, you know, that is right or wrong, we'll see. But they're really focusing on stock fundamentals. They're focusing on earnings, and that is really what's driving the market right now.
You mentioned how single stock volatility has increased as we head into earnings, and while we've seen the VIX overall not as volatile, that number has actually come down. We have a chart really highlighting that. What does that say about how cheap or expensive volatility is on individual stocks versus the S&P overall?
Yeah, so this tells you again, so the individual stock volatility is expensive relative to index volatility. Again, not surprising given kind of where we are in the cycle, where we are in terms of earnings. I caution against looking at the VIX level itself and say, oh, volatility is cheap or rich based on the level, because what we really should be comparing it is kind of how the market actually been behaving. So one of the things that stands out to me is that VIX at 16, while low, it's actually not cheap, because S&P realized volatility is even lower. It's in the single digits near a one-year low. So, you know, against the backdrop of the market really not moving
LT is
much,
like, I
it's
need
just
the
kind of this relentless slow grind higher. VIX at 16 is actually pricing quite a bit of volatility risk premium, even though the level itself is quite low.
Once you get beyond
just
the equities in terms of what you're seeing in terms of derivatives, are you seeing a meaningful difference in sentiment, or at least how you're gauging sentiment based on the derivatives activity that we're seeing in other pockets, non-equity pockets of the market?
No, this
Trump is live, but Chad, we only have a couple of minutes left.
Now, obviously, some.
Yeah, because I was looking at Treasury volatility, which was like no volatility at all, which was surprising.
So we have, you can track VIX TLT, which is looking at Treasury vol, VIX ID.
Is LT my brother? Yes, like you're my brother, Nick Bowen's my brother, all of you are. Some of you are fake, but yeah, hell yeah, that's my bro. What do they say? Blood makes you related, loyalty makes you family. Amen. Trump. All right, Chad, we'll wrap it up. I don't know. The day's over. We will be fighting China in a friendly fashion. Well, he just teased you a negative China headline, but I don't believe it.
Actually, I do believe that.
I don't know. I think a good one's coming.
$15 billion investment from Knighthead Capital Management.
The brother is born in a time of need, baby.
I'm very impressed with that. 15 billion. That's pretty good. It's a great location, too. Wow. That's very impressive. Thank you very much. That's a big number, huh? It's a big number, and yet it's peanuts.
Have I given up on Intel CEO?
That's a good job.
I did.
But,
I did give up. I bought my own ranch, and now we have a watch. Let's just say Intel's gonna regret it very soon.
Right?
You'll see.
That's fantastic.
I think you'll see, Dave. You'll see. God is good.
As another example,
God,
Google
baby,
will
God.
be investing billions and billions of dollars to revitalize.
1 minute.
Congratulations. Say hello to Sergey and Sundar. They've done a pretty good job.
Go.
Fantastic. And under the last year of Biden, China added 11 times as much power generation capacity as did the United States. That's under Biden. That's
I don't like the
Trump.
China headline he said.
Sleepy Joe.
So yeah, 20 seconds, wrap it up. You got a little bit more data. Thursday, Friday, retail sales, consumer sentiment. So tomorrow might be a burn one.
And on day one, I ended the Green New scam. I also ended Joe Biden's war on clean, beautiful Pennsylvania.
Okay, 5,
Totally
4,
ended.
3, 2,
if not greater
1.
status. It's a very powerful.
Ding 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 ding. Or not.
Sort of crazy.
All right, Chad.
They build the windmills.
Trump be fucking it up, bro, with these little Trump things at the bell, because then it messes me up. I don't know. I don't have to play the music. I don't know, man. So good game. I love you, baby. And Chad, I look forward to seeing some of you. Some of you gonna make me run a marathon to see you, open face. But I love you all. And God bless you, and it's all God. And God is with you, and Chad, you are kings. Get ready to change the world. But we can't change the world. Well, we can, but you need to decide. Make your decision. It is your language. And the clarity comes when you make commitment, brother. So let's get it. That's word of the long term. Well, that's the day. I'll let this play for a little bit. I will go get ready. I got some stuff to do in the gym, but yeah, I guess this messed up the schedule, the everything. But I'll be listening. Let's see. I'll hang out for a little. But that's all, baby. That is all. Peace. Not really. It'll be playing.
But it's announcing plans to build 10 state-of-the-art nuclear reactors in the United States. That's great. Congratulations to Westinghouse. And to further accelerate investment in the industries of tomorrow, 2 weeks ago, we enacted the largest tax cuts in American history. When I signed that one big, beautiful bill into law, we're adding to it a little bit, and we're refining it a little bit, all to the positive. And that's why the congressmen, I'll pretend I'm really angry at them, but I would actually be angry at them if they showed up, Lee, right? I'd be much more, if they're here, I would not be happy. The bill allows 100% expensing on all new equipment, something that's never happened before. Factories, research, and as I said before, even structure. To further protect Pennsylvania industry, 2 months ago, I came here to announce my approval of a historic investment deal with Nippon Steel of Japan, to keep U.S. Steel right here in Pittsburgh. And we have a great woman here, Selena Zito. She's the writer. She writes on the Rust Belt and the Midwest, really, but the Rust Belt, anything having to do with rust and belt. Where is Selena? Is she around there someplace? Because I'm doing an interview with her in a little while. And I said, do me a favor, let me do the interview after this. This way we can be right on time. Where is Selena? She's up there. Oh, she's great. You can't be angry at me now, Selena, because I'll be with you. I said, Selena, can we make it after? Otherwise, we're going to keep a lot of money waiting. These people have big money. When I saw the people here, I said, Selena, I'm sorry. I have to delay this. And also, Miss McAdams. Where is Miss McAdams? We're going to do one with her, too. And she's great, with Fox. And she's been fantastic. Stand up. Stand up. Young and smart and vibrant. She's been you've done a great job. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes, all right? That's great. We can't keep this kind of money waiting. These are truly the biggest investors in the world, including my friend John on my left. But these are the biggest investors in the world. I'm sorry, McAdams, and I'm sorry, Selena. That's the way it works. It's very impressive. But Nippon Steel, and we got it, and we have all sorts of protections because of the fact that U.S. Steel was, you people, years ago, 80 years ago, was the biggest company in the world, most powerful company in the world, and we were very strong. And Nippon's coming in; they're going to be investing $17 billion. They're going to build new plants all over the country using U.S. Steel, and we have the absolute control because we don't want to lose control of that one name. That one name is very important for the to the history of this country, and I think Nippon's going to do a fantastic job. And you know, in some cases, they could take it back to their country. I said to people, because a lot of people said, "Well, what do you think? Japanese companies coming in?" I said, "Well, you know, when they spend $1 billion in a steel plant, they're not going to put it on a boat and take it away. It's going to be right here with us, no matter what. But they are going to do a fantastic job, and they look forward to it, and they're so excited about it. They actually fought very, very hard to get that deal. And I think when you look at the countless jobs at the Mon Valley Works in western Pennsylvania, we have something that's going to be really incredible. And we did keep a golden share. You know who has the golden share? I do. I have the golden. Does everybody know what a golden share? A lot of these people from the Middle East, they don't have to worry about golden shares. But we have a golden share, but Nippon's going to do a fantastic job. With that historic announcement and the new commitments being made today, we're building a future where American workers will forge the steel, produce the energy, build the factories, and really run a country like, I believe, like this country has never been run before. I think we have a true golden age for America. We've been showing it, and it truly is the hottest country anywhere in the world. And I'm honored to be in Pennsylvania, and I'm honored to be in Pittsburgh, and you're going to see some real action here, so get ready. Lots of jobs, lots of success. Really a beautiful thing is, it's going to be beautiful to behold. So enjoy yourselves, and I look forward to hearing some of your geniuses speak. If that's okay, I'll stay around, all right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for being here. And you coming has allowed us to have this incredible summit. You won't surprise you, this summit was Dina's idea. But what it's allowed us to do is catalyze the investment. It's allowed us to get a lot of attention on Pennsylvania's story. And it's allowed us to deliver on the promises you and I talked about, which is jobs for working families, really create opportunity here in Pennsylvania. So it's the manifestation of your agenda. And we're going to talk today about those $90 billion of investment. You'll hear from Blackstone and QTS, Coreweave, and others. They pledged $36 billion to build data centers. You'll also hear from companies that invested tens of billions in generating the power needed to run those data centers. We have great investments in natural gas production and pipelines, but also in nuclear. Brookfield's repowering of 2 hydro facilities with Google that you mentioned. The great Pittsburgh company Westinghouse will tell you how they're going to deliver on your call.
I put cologne on before the gym.
Nuclear power industrial
smells so bad.
Placing 10 reactors under construction by 2030. And Constellation, which is here, Joe Dominguez, is upgrading Limerick Clean Energy Center to bring an additional 340 megawatts online. First Energy and Pennsylvania's PPL have collectively pledged $20 billion to build and operate the grid infrastructure required to support a data center renaissance right here
we did
in
that today, but not now. I don't know what he said.
Don't foot the bill. And finally, you got technology companies like Google that they're investing in bringing the benefits of AI to Main Street, and their AI Works for Pennsylvania initiative, which will offer AI training.
I swear he wasn't he supposed to do this on the 27th? You guys said, or the 25th?
These are promises. These are tangible, real commitments, and they're only the beginning. The distinguished leaders you have around the table here, from Larry Fink to Darren Woods, from Toby Rice to Bruce Platt, to great global investors like my good friends Chow Kit from Singapore, Haldun Al-Mubarak from the United Arab Emirates. They've traveled long distances to witness firsthand this historic moment and to see firsthand what's happening in Pennsylvania. And these investments are a testament to Pennsylvania's unique resources. Unbelievable natural gas reserves, abundant fresh water, massive installed base of nuclear power, incredible tech universities like CMU, our host today. Thank you, Farnham. Amazing skilled trade engineers.
I need you guys to get me this now.
Rob Baer and Brandon Bishop.
Well, just tell me how to get them.
National building trades. But none of this would have happened. None of this would have happened without your unwavering commitment to unleashing American energy dominance and standing up for workers in Pennsylvania and across the nation. They're going to see those workers.
Are these easy to
job
get?
Opportunities here today. These projects will create tens of thousands of construction jobs and thousands of
I want a mini Highland cow.
Supporting these projects, supporting these industries.
I want one of these, bro.
Make a big difference in Pennsylvania.
They're beautiful.
So, Mr. President, this is the beginning of an economic renaissance.
I want a long hair cow.
A huge step forward, and I want to thank you for
I want one.
and for being here in the Steel City. So let me give you one more hand. Thank you.
I thought you guys said these were like 10K. Is this a scam? I feel like I'm on a scam.
So with that, if it's all right with you, Mr.
Is it
President,
too hot? That's what my girl said. My girl said you have to make sure you could live there. Is it going to be too hot? I think it might.
John
That
Gray,
sucks.
President and COO of Blackstone, $25 billion in data center and energy infrastructure in Northeast PA.
Thank you, Dave.
The nearest vet, very
I want to
close.
start
Again,
by
this
thanking
isn't like
President Trump for recognizing
this isn't in the middle of nowhere.
Of American
so
leadership
you know the
in
neighboring
AI
properties
innovation,
are all like horse ranches and other
prioritizing
stuff.
the
Like I'm
physical
saying,
investment
there's a lot of ballers
in
out there.
digital and energy
They got
infrastructure
some.
to make this AI
Like one of our
revolution
neighbors
possible.
has like a
We
crazy
believe this new technology
hacienda.
can lead
Like
to
they
a
have like 10,
manufacturing
20
renaissance
stables,
in the United States.
like crazy gates.
Generating
I think ours will look
will
like that one
spur
day, but
economic
it
activity
looks
and
it's
employment
amazing.
growth
So
right
we're not
here
the
in
only ones out
Pennsylvania.
there, and like a lot of people
That
have
also leads
animals.
me to
So
thank
I think
Senator
it's I think it's
McCormick for
closer. It's
hosting
closer
this
to a
terrific
vet than
summit.
it is to
With
like
the
a grocery
help, of
store.
course,
So
many
everything's within like
important
20 minutes,
participants
20,
from
25
around
minutes.
The globe have come here, including political leaders in Pennsylvania.
They have them
from
in
both
Texas?
sides of
Oh,
the
they're
aisle,
money.
who
Let's
all
do it.
care about making
I
the
want
state
one.
and the US
I want that brown
successful
one.
in this vital area. By the way,
I want
love
one
this
that
state
looked
too.
just like
I went
this.
to college
I
like
want
you
this
here as
cow.
well. I met my
I want
wife
Stan.
here, and it is a great place.
I want
I
Stan.
will say that at Blackstone
I'm
we have
down.
enormous investments here, and we're very excited to announce that we're going to make a further $25 billion investment into Pennsylvania's digital and energy infrastructure.
Great.
The investment should catalyze over the next 10 plus
Would
year
need to
a
shave
further
them?
$60
You mean
billion on top
You guys
of
are
that
gonna
into
come
the
over to
state.
shave them? Okay, sure.
Pennsylvania, as you've heard,
I'm
is
down.
uniquely situated as a strategic hub to power the nation's
Sounds
AI
good to me.
objectives. Abundant, low-cost energy, 20%
All right, you
of
want
the
to pet the
country's
cow? You
natural
gotta
gas
shave it. You
production.
gotta shave it if
And
you
by
want to pet it.
co-locating data centers next to the
That's how I
natural
don't make.
gas,
I'm just saying.
we eliminate the
Maintenance,
enormous
bro.
cost and
Maintenance.
time
Just
delays
take
with
the
these
clippers
projects,
and
which makes
then
us
you pet
super
it.
bullish on this state. America's AI future obviously requires rapid acceleration of data center construction. Our company, QTS, is the largest independent data center developer and operator in the world. QTS has secured multiple land sites throughout the northeast of Pennsylvania. We're very excited about that. The
JB Hunt came out with earnings 293 versus 292, EPS $1.31 versus 130.
PPL to invest
Dedicated
in new
revenue
natural gas
840 versus
generation
842.
facilities. These will ensure
846
grid
versus 842.
reliability and power Pennsylvania's digital infrastructure, as well as homes and businesses across the Commonwealth. Net here, this continues our
I guess I
long-term
am.
partnership
Yeah, I
with
am
Blackstone
skipping the
with
whole have kids,
Pennsylvania.
right?
We believe
Y'all kept
6,000
saying,
plus
Josh,
jobs
you
will be
adopt me,
created
okay?
Or supported annually.
Well, you gonna come
over
work
the
on the
10-year
farm, and I'm
construction
gonna show you.
timeline.
You want to be a
Over
part of the
3,000
family? Great.
permanent
We got
jobs
chores.
will be created or
So
supported
there you go.
by
I'll put you to
QTS
work,
and its
son.
customers. We have
Let's get it.
long-standing relationships with labor. We plan to continue those here in Pennsylvania, and we intend to commence construction.
I don't
on
know,
these
though. Maybe
projects
I just
by
like doing
year-end
it all.
2028.
You guys better be
Thank
careful.
you for having us today,
What if I
Senator
fall in love
McCormick.
with all
Thank
of this
you,
farm
President
shit, and I'm
Trump,
like,
for your
fuck the
leadership.
internet?
We are honored and excited to be investing in the future of Pennsylvania and the United States.
All right. Thank you, John. That's great. And I'm going to keep us moving because there's so many people here I want to call on. Brian Tierney, CEO of First Energy, a $9.3 billion investment across PA to expand power distribution and strengthen grid infrastructure. Brian.
Thank you, Senator McCormick, and thank you, President Trump, for your leadership, particularly on energy security and what it means to our economy. At First Energy Pennsylvania, we have 6,000 contractors and employees who are thrilled to serve 2 million customers in the state. We are planning $15 billion of investment.
You know someone who
between
turned
now and the end
Amish?
of your term.
I don't know. This is I've always told you guys, like, my plan was just disappear to the mountains. You know that, right? I've always told you that.
And any other
like, I just want to live in the mountains and just with nothing. That's all. It's me and God, and just like
unions, the IBEW and the UWUA.
I'd love that. Be a pure hippie. Just
journeyman
give me a
lineman
Bible and a
hiring
mountaintop.
program, and we have an apprenticeship
I would die because I'm an
that
idiot.
will create not
I
just
don't know how to
jobs,
cook.
but long-term good
we'll get there.
careers
See, I could learn
for the
that in the
people
next
of
couple
the
months.
Commonwealth.
But I think this is a good middle ground because it's like, I don't know, we're not going up to the mountains, but we get like, you know, I have my own little piece of land now. I've never owned land, you know that? I've owned like land, but not like this. Like, I'm telling you, this is probably the most unique property I've ever purchased.
$6 billion.
And I bought some weird shit in my life, but this one is like, never had a property of this nature, even zoned for fucking agriculture. I think this is my first agriculture property.
Consistent with your executive order, and
is it?
We're so excited about
I think it is.
Dan, take it away.
Holy shit.
Senator McCormick, thank you.
Yeah, this is my first agriculture property. I've never had an agriculture property. I had one with avocado trees, but that didn't count. I don't think that was, I think that was still zoned residential. This one is zoned residential too, technically. But yeah, holy shit. So this is going to be, I told you I'm excited, bro. This is going to be fun. But yeah, I don't think I've had a property like this.
We as a company service over 60% of the world's operating nuclear fleet. Right here from our headquarters in the Pittsburgh region, actually Butler County, as well as sites around the country and around the world. What we're happy to share today is we've taken the call to action under your executive order to partner with companies across our industry to mobilize a plan to deliver 10 AP1000 reactors in the U.S. with construction to begin by 2030. This is not only critical to achieve your goals with respect to energy dominance and winning the AI race, but it's a driver of massive economic benefit across our country. When we deploy a fleet aligned to your vision, we'll drive $75 billion of economic value across the United States, with $6 billion of value here in Pennsylvania. It's also a jobs machine.
I think it could.
Implementing your vision will create or sustain over 55,000 jobs across the country and over 15,000 jobs here in the Commonwealth alone. And these are great jobs across manufacturing, engineering, and construction. And beyond that, we're happy to announce today a strategic collaboration with Google to leverage Google's expertise in AI and AI solutions along with Westinghouse's AI technology and 75 years.
Just stop giving me ideas, you guys, you know? Because this was going to be so normal until some of you guys just kept giving, you told me the Fight Club idea. Now I could be like, shit, that's a good idea. You want to ask a question, you got to walk up the mountain.
And on cost.
That's it. No ATV, no nothing. You got to walk up that shit.
Thank you for your vision.
Yeah, you don't come with the, I'm going to treat it like the DMV. I'm like, you ain't fill out the form, go back down, come back up.
You almost gave the introduction for my good friend Ruth Peratt. Ruth, thank you for being here. And Google is doing a number of things, partnering with Brookfield, which Bruce Flatt is here. Great partnership. We're lucky to have them both engaged in Pennsylvania. Bruce is also the majority owner of Westinghouse. Brookfield's the majority owner of Westinghouse, and also an incredible effort to train 1 million small businesses in AI. So Ruth, please tell us what you're doing in Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much for your leadership.
I'm not going to be the cruel old man on the mountain.
Clear and urgent
Sadly, I'll probably be the old man pissing off the side of the mountain.
In the
I'm going to try that.
Technology
I'm being honest with you, man. I'm being honest with you. So, but I don't think I'll be mean on top of the mountain. I think I will have fun at the top of the mountain. I'll be like, watch out, I'm pissing. Be careful.
Energy, no pun intended.
And then now it's Diddy. See, look, it's a fine line.
On behalf of Google, I'm very pleased to be here in Pittsburgh to announce that Google is investing more than $25 billion in data centers and AI infrastructure across the states in this critical PJM region over the next 2 years. And to support the investment, we're investing in 3 additional ways.
I think we'll have a watch list tonight. It all depends on how this goes.
To support your mandate for energy abundance.
Let me get going now so I don't fall too behind.
Referenced. It is a $3 billion 20-year agreement
Chad.
with Brookfield Energy to modernize two hydropower facilities in Lancaster.
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Second, we've already heard about
tomorrow will be a chill one. Today was already kind of bad. He did tease some bad China stuff, but then Thursday, retail sales. And then Friday, the 220 liberals in Michigan. So, Chad, I love you. God bless you. Thank you for your time. And I hope you never have hesitation. Okay? And I hope you make some good decisions. And don't ever forget why we're here. And why we keep going. Why that faith, hope, and love ain't never going out of style. And why we all gonna change the world, baby. Why, baby? Why? Finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory, and through the grace of God alone. Amen. Amen. So, Chatadonia, God bless you. The decision, what language you talking, bro? You already know. Walk, baby. Move, baby. So have a good one. Maybe I'll see you tonight. Maybe not. We'll find out. But get ready for the middle of the weekend. We're halfway done with July. Peace. Hey, Josh. What do you mean? I made a decision. Wait, what? I didn't forget my decision. Well, no. Okay. Am I not the pricey front? I want to go to the farm. Hey, Minnie, how's a cow, Minnie? He won't get it, Joe. I don't think he'll get it. Maybe we'll do AI cows. That's the next thing. Bill Gates wanted fake food. I said, let's make AI cows. Moo. Okay, I guess not. Have a good one. I'll see you later. Thank you. Goodbye. Exactly. I don't know, but either way, this is either going to turn out very well or very just ditty. I hope not. We'll see. They've made a lot of jokes already, so either way, get it long term. I reclaim my time. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.